Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of the MinnMax Show podcast, the place about games, friends, and getting better. Your regular host, Ben Hansen, is on paternity leave for 3 more weeks. In the meantime, I'm Kyle Bosman. I'll be your substitute host. We are joined this week by Jenna Garcia.
Hello.
Jenna Stoeber.
Hi.
And Kyle Hilliard.
Hey, Kyle. Happy to be here, Kyle.
Hey. Hey, back at you, Kyle. Are you
It's
cool
weird
with
saying
Hilliard,
your
by
own
the way?
name, right? Isn't that weird? I'm gonna say it as much as possible while I have the.
I love hearing my own name. So you don't want to hear Hilliard?
No, whatever. Hilliard's fine. It's more syllables. It's a lot of extra work, I feel like.
To me, that's a nice name.
Okay. It's like a yard with a bunch of hills on it.
Do you both like the name
Sonic.
Kyle? Are you pro Kyle as a name?
It's fine. I remember talking to my parents when I was young about how to change my name. Like, when can I do that? And they're like, why would you do that?
How
But
soon
now
can we
I'm-
get this process moving along?
Yeah, now it's fine. Now I'm happy with it.
I
Although
like you
Kyle
when
it's
does have a
age.
weird internet thing
It
Where-
does.
where they're like energy drink chugging bros, Kyle.
Kyle?
I've heard it's like
Really?
the female or the male Karen. I've even heard a couple times.
Oh.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I haven't heard that. I think you're
heard that, no.
hypersensitive to it for some reason that I couldn't.
You can
figure
definitely-
out.
Who knows why?
People just keep sending him the articles about it for some reason.
So let's say you're a sitcom writer, right?
Yeah.
And there's just somebody who's dropping off flowers at an office, right? And it's like you can just imagine like David Spade saying like, "What's your name?" And the guy's like, "Kyle." You know what I mean? Like it's just that level of name.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but like Jenna pointed out, I think we are sensitive to it. Whenever we hear Kyle on screen, we're like, "Hey, how come this isn't a cool muscular guy? Why is he just a lanky delivery dude?"
I get that all the time, yeah. Today on the MinnMax Show, our goal will be to determine what the best summer game of all time is. But before that, I did want to address something, is that there was some debate about on the Discord, whether last week was episode 200 or this week is episode 200 of the MinnMax Show. I'm going to tell you, it doesn't matter. It's all irrelevant because we can't celebrate episode 200 until Ben Hansen is back. And he's promised he's going to do a blockbuster event.
So it'll
He said
just
it's
be
going
like,
to blow
That's
us
what I
all
heard.
out of the stratosphere. Yeah.
we're just gonna celebrate like episode 204 or 5 for some reason. Just-
When
I've done that before. Sometimes my family's like, "Hey, we're just going to do Christmas on the 28th this year." You know what I mean? Just like, make everybody coordinate.
It's the Boxing Day of episode 200. When I started doing production stuff, I was like, I should name my files according to what the episode number is. And then I searched, I dug through all of the little systems and all of the little places that episodes go live in, and I could not find a single place where there's an actual episode count. So I gave up. And so every episode that gets posted has a different random late 90s, early 200s numeration. So if you see them in your listening app, ignore them. They're meaningless.
I do wish we had numbers because one thing I've noticed now, like doing socials, like I'll do clip outs of like episodes and sometimes they're just like older content and people are like, "Oh, I'd love to watch the full version of this." And I'm like, I don't know where this is from. Though, to the community's credit, a lot of people will be like, "Oh, this was New Show Plus, the IKEA episode. It's them eating in the food court." I don't know why. Like, thank you for knowing that. But writing out the full name of like the episodes is really inconvenient compared to just saying like episode like 306 or whatever, which I get like SEO wise, like no one's searching that organically, but content wise, I wish we had it.
Sure. Anyway, 200, Ben will take care of it. And then the other thing, hey, if you're wondering why we're not talking about Baldur's Gate 3 right now, it's because we're playing it this weekend. We'll get our Baldur's Gate 3 time in. Next week's episode will be the Baldur's Gate 3 episode.
Oh, yeah.
For now,
Three.
we have the important business of determining the best summer game of all time, of course. Much more important business.
Ooh, yeah.
So you're wondering how are they possibly going to do it? It's just 4 people. Well, here's the thing. Everyone here is thoroughly prepared, unquestionably qualified to determine unequivocally what the best summer game of all time is. We're each going to present what we believe to be the best summer game of all time. We'll make a case. There will be interruptions, quite obviously. But then, once we've concluded our cases, we'll get 3 popsicle sticks each. And then you can disperse those popsicle sticks amongst the aforementioned games. The game that has the most popsicle sticks at the end of the podcast will be determined to be the best summer game of all time.
Do these popsicle sticks have jokes on them?
I was going to ask that. That's literally the dumb question that I was planning to ask.
Yeah, man.
You have my game too, don't you? If anyone has it, it's you.
No, honestly, I'm not prepared for if anyone has a duplicate game. So I feel like, all right, here's the thing. If there's a duplicate game, you have to go arm in arm with each other and be like, okay, I'm with you.
I mean, if it's a duplicate game, they win, right? Because if two people agreed on it, then that's the thing. That's the truth.
I'm not giving any of my popsicle sticks to a dupe.
Wow, okay. But
what if it's your dupe?
Yeah, what if you're the dupe?
Wouldn't it be funny if we all had the same game? That's not going to happen, but it would be funny.
Please. I pray that it is the case.
Well, Bosman teased that we're not going to know what it is, and I'm certain everyone has played mine extensively. So.
Okay.
Another zone.
I'm even more sure. But yes, the answer is there are jokes. There is the setup on the dry end of the popsicle stick, and then on the stained end is the punchline.
Perfect.
Okay.
Great. Are there any other questions before we begin?
I have a question. I just want this as background for everybody. Did anybody choose like a modern recent summer game, or are these all childhood summer games?
It's pretty old.
Mine's old.
Did everybody go instinctively? Okay, I'm just curious.
Kyle.
Okay.
Mine's fairly modern. Mine's pretty modern.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. I'm just curious.
Yeah. Who here loves summer the most?
It's not me. It is just not me. Simply not me.
Oh, I guess it's me then.
Okay, yeah, because I hate summer.
Really?
Yeah.
So this is all you're just fake then. This is like a fake topic.
Well, no, I hate summer, but I know what the best summer game of all time is.
The best summer game is the worst game because summer sucks.
No, it's not like that at all.
I guess this must be a Kyle thing to not like summers. I grew up in South Carolina, which has just like terrible, humid, painful.
Yeah,
don't want to work up a sweat, walk into your car summers.
Yeah,
no school is nice.
Yeah, Southern Illinois, here by the great muddy Mississippi. Also notably humid summers. Growing up, we used to say that you could leave a tea bag in a cup and come back an hour later and have tea. Because just would absorb it. Yeah.
Well, though, to be fair,
I hate that.
You could do that at any temperature. It's just like the quality of the tea will vary.
Anyway, I'm summer agnostic. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It simply is yet another state of being.
So it's clearly Janet first.
Yeah. Wahondo, yeah, clearly.
Sure. I live in the warmest climate as well, as Backstage Pass pointed out. Okay, my summer game, Kyle Hilliard.
Do you want a reaction? Should I save mine?
We're just gonna go. We're just gonna go and see what it is.
I love this.
It's Super Mario Sunshine.
Whoa! Okay. How literal?
Yes.
How literal interpretation?
That's why, I'm like, mine's boring. Like, this topic got tossed out, and I'm like, yeah, it's sunshine. Like, this is the obvious answer, and I'm still gonna pick it because
that's not boring. That's not boring.
Why?
That's a good answer.
It feels safe, but it's. Sometimes the obvious answer is also the right answer. You know, when you're taking a test and you're like, clearly it can't be C again. It is C. Your first instinct is right. And my first instinct was Super Mario Sunshine. This came out for the Nintendo GameCube, aka one of the greatest consoles of all time, if you ignore all the problems that it had, which I do, because why wouldn't I look at it with rose-colored glasses? Yeah. This was definitely in the era of my childhood. I mean, the GameCube itself came out, in the early 2000s. This game came out August 26th, 2002. So it came out at the end of summer. So it has that extra bonus besides being summer in its theme of Mario and Peach and some of the Toads or Toad going on vacation to Delfino Island.
I think it's Toadsworth.
Yeah, like the fancy one. He has
the fancy one.
Yeah. He's Toad.
I think too. Also, I believe the opening cutscene is voice acted as well, minus like Mario. I mean, Mario just kind of goes,
it is,
like he doesn't really say anything.
There's a few of them voiced, yeah.
Yeah, like what is his name again? Captain. What is it? Toadsworth?
I think it's Toadsworth.
Yeah, he talks a lot, and then the Flood guy, talks a lot.
Hello, Mario. Also, Mario ends up in jail. I feel like some classic summer hijinks. Jenna, do you not know this?
He ends up in jail?
Yeah, so the opening, and this is a funny thing because, like, for me, this is a game that I, really loved. It's one of the more fun and also very flawed Mario games. So it sits in an interesting spot in the Mario canon, because I think a lot of people played this game and either really hated it or really loved it. And I really loved it, but I get, why people don't really like it. But yeah, it opens with, you get to the island, stuff's going down, there's gunk everywhere, everything's sort of suspicious. Flood is like, hey, Mario, like, wait, he's like, hello, Mario. Like,
pull out the impression, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's like a little water-filled pack that functions as like a little bit of a water gun and a jetpack. And you use him to clean things up because it's like stuff's going down. There's piranha plants that are sort of made of this gunk. And then in the midst of saving that moment, the cops come. Who shows up? None other than the police of Delfino Island. They're like, there he is! They sentence him. They put him on trial. There's an objection. It's overruled. The justice system is flawed in Delfino Island. Because he's like, I just got here. And they're like, look, you look a lot like the mustached guy who's messing stuff up. So they put him in jail. And then there's like, I'm not making this up. There's a somber piano ballad that plays. And then Flood goes on this monologue about, you, Mario, sit here in jail while the perpetrator is out ruining the world. Like, it's a whole thing. If you've never seen this, it is probably the best. People say Mario games don't have good stories. This, I think, is one of the few good stories in that it commits, and it is a little bit bad and doofy, but it's great. Like, it is a ride. You never know what's gonna happen next. So yeah, really living a dramatic, fun-filled, and inadvertently crime-filled summer. But that's the plot of it, and the whole thing is you're chasing down this guy who looks like Mario. I think he's called Shadow Mario. I don't fully remember. He looks kind of liquidy, and he's the one doing everything.
You can't spoil who he really is.
Exactly.
We can. I will. I want to ask a
That's
question.
the point. Yes.
I want to ask a very specific question, actually, about Shadow Mario. If we're skipping ahead too much, it's Bowser Jr.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, but
well, brand new character. This is his
the game
debut.
is like 21 years old, but yes,
Bowser Jr. What I want to ask is, so the Bowser Jr. believes Peach is his mama.
Mm-hmm.
He says, that's my mama. I want to know if when you were playing this game, you're on along for the ride. You believe that maybe Princess Peach is that little guy's mama.
My first reaction playing this game.
Yeah.
And again, it's funny because during Backstage Pass segment, we had our moments of swears, and we're not going to swear here because we don't. But I was like, wow, Peach is real dumb because she replied to this saying, I'm your mama? With a question mark. Like, girl.
Wait, you gotta shut that down.
Do you not know? Are you unsure? What is going on? How would you... What?
I think that reaction at the time...
It's the game that keeps on giving.
Did make me kind of be like, is that where we're going with this? Because she didn't immediately like write it off as like, don't be absurd. She was like questioning it herself.
Yeah, which like opens a whole lot of other concerning questions about what's going on in
I know, because they don't
life.
get married till Odyssey. So that's like, what's going on there?
Wow,
you know?
yeah, some real dodgy moral stances.
Yeah.
Wait, hold up. Nobody gets married in Odyssey. What are you talking about?
No,
Nobody gets married in Odyssey.
Well, they think about it. They really think about it.
One person thinks about it.
I'm thinking about it.
I'm really sorry to interrupt again, Janet. Are you looking through a guide for Super Mario Sunshine right now?
I brought again. Was it a dumb purchase? Absolutely. Have I used it twice in the last 2 weeks? Yes, I have.
Wow.
Super Mario Bros. Encyclopedia.
My gosh.
And it's got like the little information. It's got like the story there, which I guess I could have read from. If I could go back in time, I probably would have done that. Would have been more succinct than what I had. We got, confirmed it is Shadow Mario, an enemy who bears a striking resemblance to Mario. Spray him with enough water and he surrenders, which I had a really hard time doing as a kid. I saw my boyfriend Isaiah do it the other day, and he finished it like in the first round. I'm like, I was looping around that island 8 to 12 times over because I could not get the timing correct. So this game takes place also across a bunch of different areas. Obviously, it's Isle Delfino is like the general region, but there's also, Gelato Beach, and like there's this gorgeous place called Pina Park that's like this big amusement park. So it's got some of the most like, besides just being in a tropical area as far as like it being a summer game, it also is just kind of exploring all the different ways one could experience summer, right? There's the beach side, there's an amusement park, there's like a canal, there's a bunch of like the local fruit, and like I feel like it just plays a lot with the fun of that vibe. And then I also feel like this is a great game as a game that like I loved from my childhood to go back to when I have downtime, when I'm looking for an escape from the things that weigh on me in our modern society. I can turn to Super Mario Sunshine using the GCHD to adapt it to my modern television, and I can just sit here and all my troubles melt away, or I can just play it on Switch because it's also weird. But you know, yeah, I know, but like it doesn't hit the same without like the tactileness of the GameCube triggers, and that's another fun thing.
Ooh, good thing to bring up. Yeah, that's
it
important.
has like that, and that was what was so hard about like porting it to Switch is it doesn't so much of Nintendo's style. Like the GameCube's so interesting because it's that last in between of Nintendo being like using their hardware to be a little bit gimmicky and then going like really full commitment in the hardware gimmick to the point where like porting stuff from like the Wii to the Switch is tough, the Wii U to the Switch can be tough. Like the GameCube kind of sat in a more traditionalist space, but even with stuff like the design of the controller, like the way the shoulder pads give was utilized in like the water pressure of like how flood sprays. So cool. It's kind of an interesting like spot for it to be at, but
felt like a squirt gun. It felt like you were using an actual squirt gun.
I was wondering if you could use the GameCube controller for the Switch version.
I believe you can if you have the crazy Smash Bros adapter and all that. Yeah. But also, you can't buy that game anymore.
No.
The Mario 3D Anniversary Collection thing, that was like on sale for like 3 months. You can't even like go get that anymore.
Correct.
What a cool decision of them.
Yeah. Like why not do things differently just to do them differtly as we often do?
It does make it feel special, right? It feels exclusive to have purchased that game in a very sad way. What's the adapter you were talking about?
Oh, the GCHD. So this company Eon, spelled E-O-N. I'm sure we've probably mentioned them before at some point. They do a lot of hardware to amplify or integrate like a retro experience into a modern era without modding. So obviously there's a lot of ways to enjoy retro consoles or retro games, you know, of varying degrees of legality for some of those ways. But if you're looking for more of the legal side of things and you're like, hey, I'd love to use my like traditional hardware on my TV, the GCHD, I think they have an N64 one. I'm not sure what that one's called, but it's basically a little adapter that you put into the back of the console and then it creates like an HDMI port for it. It also refines the look of it a little bit and has like a couple different modes on the device too, where you can have like a more traditional look. You can have like a smoother quote unquote HD look to the consoles. You can do it at its traditional aspect ratio or like a modern aspect ratio. So it's just one of those things where it's like, if you're looking to use old stuff, but you don't want to get a CRT TV, that's kind of where the GCHD comes in. Or you're looking to have like a nicer looking experience, but you don't want to do the work of modding the console or purchasing a modded console.
How much are we talking here?
Ooh, that's a great question. I don't remember what the GCHD costs.
Just like range though. Are we talking like a $20 little thing or like is it like a $200?
$160.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But the packaging looks like a tiny GameCube, and I feel like that goes a long way.
Sure, it absolutely does.
Delightful.
By the way, I did a bit of Googling, and it looks like you can for sure use the GameCube controller to play the Switch version of Mario Sunshine now. They had to issue an update, but they did do it.
Heck yeah.
So, I think the last thing I want to really shout out, just because I think it's that perfect combo of like, and this happens a lot with older games that are particularly flawed in somewhat obvious ways, right? Where it's like we can all kind of agree this was really hard, like or like a hard part of the game or something like that. There's an area where you do this kind of surfing mini game on, I forget the names of what are the names like the little squid guys?
The bloopers or something?
Yeah, the little bloopers. You like get on one and then you have to like go through this maze, and it's
more like jet skiing than surfing.
Yeah, it's like a jet ski thing, and it's like ridiculously hard, but it's also like very fun. And I feel like that moment is kind of like the girls that get it. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you either really like this or you're like, man, this sucks because it's really hard. And like, I acknowledge that it sucks that it's really hard, but it's also so fun. And I think so much of Mario Sunshine sits in those pockets of why is it like this versus like, oh, but it's kind of cool that it's like this, right? Like there's something about it. There's something compelling about it that keeps me coming back. Not unlike the way that summer comes back every year until we ruin the planet enough so that it doesn't. And that is my game of the summer.
Until
and there was something I was supposed to say
forever.
Yeah. There was something I was supposed to say at the end, but
I rest my summer game case.
I rest my summer game case.
Okay. And now,
That's a hard
I
one.
guess we should applaud you.
Compelling.
Yeah,
great.
okay.
Really compelling arguments.
Two important things
Thank you.
that you missed, or
Wow.
I guess maybe one, is
Wow.
he has his sleeves rolled up.
I said
'Cause
I
he's so
rest
hot.
my
The case has been
summer
rested.
game case. No, but actually go ahead because I really want to know what your second thing is.
That is
but-
important.
Oh yeah, so yeah, the sleeves rolled up is a big deal because he's
Yeah,
never
that is
done
cool.
that before or since.
Really
as far as
relaxed,
I guess
chill
in
vibe.
Odyssey he wears different.
He's
clothes.
topless in Odyssey.
That's true.
Poppin'
That's a good
tops.
point. And then also for me, that game came out like August 26th, and in South Carolina, you've already been in school for a month at that point. So this was a school year game for me. I
Does
was
it help
playing this-
that
I remember
in
talking
Japan
about it with
came
my
out
friends in
July
English class.
19th?
Yeah, but
I'm sorry.
I was in Japan.
You know, we're forming the rules as we go. Are you just allowed to tell people why their game isn't the best summer game once the case has been rested?
Isn't it a debate? Isn't that what we're doing?
I think you
I'm
can.
supposed to make a case. I mean,
I don't know
sure,
if we're
yeah.
debating.
But I feel like you got to do it before the case has been arrested. I
Oh,
feel
I'm
like we
sorry.
How do you
cannot
know
allow
when
that
that-
on the record.
Nah.
Yeah, strike
well,
it.
Okay.
Strike
I
it.
feel like
Just
I
ignore
like
that.
it more after because it's like you had your fun and then someone's like, let me tell you why your fun was wrong. And I feel like I like that after. Like, let me get it out, you know?
So let me tell you why your fun was wrong will be a new
Yeah.
segment we add to the end of each case.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Janet, you get to pick who goes next.
Okay, I'm going to go with Jenna.
Ooh, okay. So let me paint a picture for you. It's about 2005. I'm in my early years of undergrad. I'm an adult now. I've got a little money in my pocket. I'm ready to invest in my first game console platform as an adult. I go to the GameStop, the local GameStop. I sort through all the options. I look at the big consoles. They're expensive. They're too expensive. But hey, what's that? Gosh, what's that on the shelf? It's a Nintendo DS, a perfect little handheld device. It opens, it closes like a flip phone, obviously the coolest kind of phone that can ever exist. It slips so gently down into my pocket. It's the beginning of summer. I've got this mobile gaming device that I purchased. It is the first gaming moment of my youth. Or I guess of my adulthood is what I said. It's the first gaming choice I made as an adult to be like, I'm investing in this hardware to play these games. I go to hang out with all my friends. This is like end of June. We were like making plans to go to the 4th of July. I'm like, look at this thing that I just got. It's a DS. I had the beautiful black DS. And they were like, wow, that's pretty cool. Every single one of them goes and buys their own Nintendo DS. We all pile into a car. We go to GameStop. Every single one of my friends in this friends group bought their own Nintendo DS. My pitch for the best summer game of all time is PictoChat, the built-in chat interface of Nintendo DS that you could use to interact with your friends using this little platform. It let you draw. It let you type. And we all just I have distinct memories of us going to the 4th of July fireworks show, which was at the St. Louis Arch, and you pitch your blanket next to the riverside. And so we were on our blankets underneath the arch watching fireworks. And as we were getting ready, we were all playing PictoChat, mostly drawing and anatomical features
that was going to be one of my questions. Like,
of varying
how long
genders.
until someone? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, immediately. But we were very progressive,
Sure.
so we found ways to share images of many different kinds of body parts because we were very,
Very
inclusive.
inclusive.
Yeah.
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 Inclusively gross. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah.
How many? I'm sorry. I'm just. How many body parts are we talking here? Like,
At least
there's got to be
at least
Oh,
four that
okay.
I'm dubious that I can say the words of on this no curse podcast.
It's a gray area.
Not when
It's like,
we
hey,
drew
this is
them.
a scientific term.
So you were bored by the fireworks?
No, we love the fireworks. We all closed up our DSs. That's the beautiful thing about the DS is you can just like click it shut and enjoy some fireworks. But
So
there was
these
just
are like launch DSs, right? Like you
they were
weren't taking
pretty.
photos with the DSi or anything.
I don't know that we were doing that, but it was pretty early in the DS launch cycle.
Was it the chunky boy or the light?
Chonky?
Okay, so
Chonky.
Cool.
it's
All
funny
right.
that Nintendo keeps making like you think with the Game Boy they'd be like, this is too chunky, and then they're like, what if we closed it though? You know, it's not as big of a deal.
You got to
That's
start
gigantic.
chonky, so you got a place to backside, like how you have baby fat, and then you slim down, and everyone's like, wow, you got really hot over summer. It's just early undergrad experiences.
Yeah, the
left and
human
right,
DS, DS Lite, DSi, 3DS. We've all been
Entering
those
my
ages.
DSi era.
Yeah. You got like a matte finish for some reason that you don't love, but whatever, it's cool.
It's better than the shiny finish if you're on camera.
I was
a
thinking
lot.
that too, actually. I fight that shiny finish every day of my
Gotta
life.
fight that, yeah.
I got a question.
Yeah.
So is there any friend that you grew to appreciate more because they had good PictoChat content?
That's a good question. I feel like I was friends with a couple artists, and so it was really great to see their beautiful renderings of various physical anatomy parts, and just like this different.
Sorry, is that it? Is that everything that was ever done in the PictoChat?
It's like 80%. But it's always interesting to see like what kind of details people are going to bring. I mean, we also used it as like a prototype. Like this is like relatively early in the Jackbox era, right? So we didn't have like those kinds of party games, and the Nintendo DS didn't really like support that as much. But like PictoChat, there was no like censoring or anything, so you could really just go ham in it. And so like we used it for a lot of like Pictionary style games and stuff like that, because you could it was just a toy. It was a thing that let the Nintendo DS be a party toy that we could all just kind of be clicking and clacking away on our little screens together.
And PictoChat's pre-installed, right? You don't even need to buy anything.
No, it's free. It's built in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'll always remember about that summer is just like hanging out, like going to like drive-in movies, playing our DSs until the movie started and stuff like that. Good summer.
And then what makes this a strong summer case, right, is that like that's not funny forever, and eventually like you stopped using it, correct?
As the sun set earlier and earlier, and the days start to cool off, and the nights start to become quieter as the cicadas die off, and becomes darker as the fireflies go back to their dormancy. So too does the sun set on the Nintendo DS PictoChat experience.
Yeah.
I rest my summer game case.
Oh, look at that. Rested.
Now, would
trying to think
anyone
of-
like to tell Jenna why her fun was wrong?
This
There's so
one's
many-
tough because it's
You
so
know,
it's
I
so
will say I've
wholesome.
never speaking of summer games done quick. I don't think I've ever seen a PictoChat speed run.
Oh, you're going the it's not a real game angle.
Yeah,
No,
is
no,
that
no,
the
I
angle?
think
It really
Kyle
is like a
Hilliard?
chat room. It's just
It's
like a
chat room, yeah. I
yeah.
was trying to think, what is the DS? Was it 3DS that had the stop motion like drawing? You could make your own animations.
Yes,
and stuff.
3DS.
Is that DS?
Yeah.
Did you guys
I don't know
like
if it's
eventually
DS.
Graduate to that? Because I think you could share those locally as well.
No, neither us in the DS nor me in my DS era. We have not become three-dimensional.
Or animated, I guess. They would still be
Neither of
2D.
those things.
Yeah.
As in ad / a shocking omission. It's like a combo situation. For me, PictoChat, the number one thing I did that I loved on PictoChat was completely coloring the screen black. Was that not something you did? Like that
Yes,
was like to me that was the
absolutely.
highlight. I've been chasing that high ever since of you get that last bit.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's it for? It's just for doing it. And we
Yeah.
don't get a lot of that in life anymore.
That's like one of those, I have this console, I don't have a lot of games to play yet because it's new, but there's like an alarm on here and stuff, and like this weird PictoChat thing.
That's
so you just kind of
exactly
play
the
with
vibe.
those, right?
Yeah. No, that's exactly the vibe. I think when I got the DS, I bought one game and it was like Puzzle Quest. And that wasn't my summer game of all time because it was so much less important. Although a great game and very fun.
Yeah, shocking, really. You could show Puzzle Quest to a bunch of college students and they would be like, heck yeah, let's all go buy one.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you really sold that to at least 3 people. You never said the amount of people.
4.
And to me, I was imagining
total.
3 people.
It was
4
4
people.
people total ended up buying. I think 3 of us went at that one time, and then one person was like, "Well, I want to pick Dochan." So they got on it later. But it is wild because like none of them were really gamers. I did not consider myself a gamer at that time. But we had a Game Boy growing up, so I was like, I really just want to game more, and so I just went and did it.
Heck yeah.
Beautiful.
All right, so Jenna, you can now pick. Oh yeah, you're already on top of it. You can pick who goes next.
I choose you, Kyle Bosman.
Okay, all right.
I was saving Kyle Hilliard for last. It felt right.
I thought you would say I pick Kyle and let them sort it out.
Well, that would have been
Let them fight.
Janet, that's 3-dimensional thinking, and I'm not there yet.
That's some
We're still 2D here.
studio stuff right there.
That's the name of the 3DS one is Flipnote Studio?
I believe so. Shout out to Leafy on the chat. I believe it's Flipnote Studio, yeah.
Good catch.
Good stuff. I believe the best summer game of all time is Digimon World.
Okay.
Which platform?
Oh, yeah, I'm supposed to be. Oh, wow.
Yes, of course you're supposed to be. Yeah, we've discussed this. You should be amazed.
Digimon World? Is that what you said?
Oh my God. It's like Pokemon,
PlayStation
but
1.
different.
The year. Oh, I'll explain how it's different. I'll get there.
They always do. Go ahead.
They always do. The year's
You really
2000.
want me to know how it's different. Sorry, go ahead.
You're a 14-year-old person in the year 2000. Okay. Hypothetically, your house has no air conditioning. It's really, really hot in this house, except for the basement, where it's naturally cool because it's down in the dirt. That's just imagine that first and foremost. That's your scenario right now when you're picking up Digimon World. Now, Digimon, what makes it different from Pokemon? Number 1, Digimon are cooler than Pokemon. But number 2, the fundamental difference is that Digimon have these evolutionary paths, right? You start off with this thing, and then there's so many different ways it can go. Y'all know Tamagotchis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tamagotchis is a virtual pet, right? That's what Digimon started off as. A Tamagotchi, same company really, that you could do battles with. So, in this game, it basically keeps that Tamagotchi functionality into this PS1 RPG with pre-rendered backgrounds and 2 CG cutscenes, right? So it's like, you have to do a Tamagotchi within an RPG, basically. And so you have to clean up its poop when it poops. You have to feed it when it's hungry, and you have to scold it when it's being bad. You have to do all these things for your Digimon. And the case that I'm building here is that the summer is the only time you have the patience for this. The summer is the only time where you're willing to play Digimon World and put up with its idiosyncrasies. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the Digimon... I should have also explained this. This is really a tragic part of this. The Digimon die. They have a lifespan, just like Tamagotchis did, right? Like, you couldn't raise your Tamagotchi forever. It would eventually just become too old and die. And that's a function of this video game. It's a function of this PlayStation 1 RPG where, like, if you keep your monster around for too long, it will simply die. That's the most frustrating thing you could ever imagine happening in a game because you've just built up.
And you like this? This is
yeah,
good.
This is part of your
have
positive
patience.
pitch.
It's got to be hot. You got to let your darlings die.
Yes, because the only cool room is the basement. The only place to be during the summer is the basement. I need Digimon World. You know what I mean? Like, I need a game like this in the summertime. If I'm just blasting through a game, it's like, okay, now I got to go back upstairs where it's hot again.
I see.
Was there a rule in your house that, like, kind of like, you know how, like, sometimes you can't get up from the table till you ate all your vegetables? Is it like you can't get out of this basement if you have finished your game?
Yeah, I had gamer parents who were very strict about me finishing.
They'd see you roll credits and like, get out of here.
Janet,
Get out of here.
I thought you were going to say...
I'm sure they worried about me, right? Like, I would still run. I would still run and do the running, right? But then I would, like, just be in the basement all day long playing
cool
Digimon
off.
World.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, I'm sure a parent would worry. like what is going to become of my son? I don't even like Digimon sounds like the dumbest possible. Like, why isn't he reading? You know what I mean? What will he be? And I turned into like a Digimon guy. It's true, but I was forged in that summer. You know what I mean? Like without it being the summer, without it being so hot, I never would have learned to love Digimon World.
So you don't think if you were
Sounds like
not
a plague, though.
if you were not physically trapped in the basement, you do not think you would have come to have loved Digimon World?
Yeah.
Does that not seem
if
like
it happened like
pretty...
during when like a school when you have like a half hour to play? Like no way, it's not possible.
It seems like a pretty bad indictment of the game.
It's a summer game. It's why it's the best
That's
summer
fair.
game.
No, that's fair. I grant you that. Yeah.
We're making up the criteria as we go along. Yeah, most of us were out in the world, meeting people and trading Pokemon and taking our Game Boys with us wherever we wanted, to air-conditioned movie theaters, etc.
The bourgeoisie, if you will. How the elite lived.
I have not yet closed my game case, and you're already telling me why my fun was wrong.
So sorry, you're right.
Sorry, we should be investigating. Yeah.
Okay, I rest my summer game case.
Did
Hilliard, are you now proposing that Pokemon is actually cooler than Digimon?
I don't know if I have I was going to say dog in this fight, but I guess I should say some creature.
We're trying to move away from that.
Can you? Growlithe?
I do like your pitch in that, like the downsides of the game is that it takes way too long, and you need patience. Is the thing that like you could only do as a child during summer, right? Like you could, and it forced you into the cool basement. I see where you're coming at with that.
Is this not the pitch for a December MinnMax show that is the best winter game of all time for games that you played on winter break?
Yeah.
Think about it.
I have memories connected to those as well.
There you go.
But
so wait, you would say Pokemon is more of a December game?
We can't dive into this.
Yeah,
right
we can't litigate this.
We can't be talking December games. That's a whole different. For
me,
vibe.
It'll help because I know the opposite of a December game is the best summer game of all time.
Oh, interesting.
And so if you're making a case that Pokemon is just nice, cozy December game, then obviously Digimon World would be the apotheosis, the greatest summer game of all time.
I feel like there's a non-zero chance Kyle Hilliard is going to say Pokemon Go as his game.
That
actually is a really good summer game. Really good. That was the summer too, wasn't it?
I'm too prepared to tell somebody that their fun was wrong for Pokemon Go. You know what I mean? You can tear down that argument in a second. Kyle,
I will say really quick. Wait, is it what? So I did enjoy hearing about this game because I feel like Digimon World is one that like a really specific sector of people I know were like, I loved it. I was like, playing it for, I was like, I don't even know what this game was. So it was cool hearing like what the appeal was, the long sort of tail length that it had in terms of playability. I will say the one your fun was wrong comment that I want to make is I don't know if we should be forging more Digimon fans. I don't know if that's a good thing for society. That's the only thing. Like, are we creating something where it's like we were so busy making it we didn't ask whether or not we should make it at all, Like, I'm not sure.
So I have to ask
you. That's my fun case rested. I don't know.
Who are the people? You said there's a specific sect.
Yeah, I want to say my friend Jess likes that game, but I can't fully remember. She had recently posted like a picture of a bunch of old games from her childhood and was like, what? I'm going to just start digging into these, which also, I don't know if that's like a red flag. Should I be like, hey, you doing okay? Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, when I go into the weeds of like my old collection, it's like half a cry for help,
that I think you really have to worry about.
Yeah.
They're troublesome. But so you're saying no more
Digimon game in there though. Well, no, I wouldn't go that far. But it's like
you did go that far. You said you want to make more Digimon fans.
She said fewer.
You cannot make a Digimon fan and also still have people live. Like, you don't live and die on whether or not you're a Digimon fan. We could just take that one sector out of you or not put it into you and you'd still exist. And maybe you'd be better for it. I don't know. I'm asking
It's like the Jim Carrey movie? Yeah. What is it called? Jim Carrey and
Batman Forever.
No. It's where he's like, make me forget about my girlfriend.
It's Batman Forever. Eternal Sunshine of the Spongeless Mind? I'm not saying you forget Digimon. I'm saying you never did it.
Janet, can you repeat that title again real quick? I just want to make sure I didn't mishear you.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Okay,
I
you did say spongeless mind.
Spongeless mind.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I'm into it.
Which I'd watch.
I definitely
that
said
movie
spotless.
too.
I just have a lisp, and now you should feel bad, chat.
Okay, so what you're suggesting is Eternal Sunshine style, removing
No.
Digimon fandom from my mind.
I'm not
so that I
saying
can
go
be a
back.
healthier human.
No, because that's like that's the whole spoilers for the movie, right? It's like it's not good to go that way because then it's so you're saying it's inevitable that you'll be a Digimon fan. That even if I took it out of your brain, you'd find it again.
I'll still find that. You're right. I'll still like
That's
be on
Spoilers
some,
for Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless
some
Mind. It's
frozen
really
pond
good.
and find a little
beautiful.
copy of Digimon. Yeah.
It is.
Find it, and something in you would reach out to it, and you wouldn't know why, but something in you would speak to you. That's beautiful.
Yeah. And Elijah Wood would just keep getting in the way.
He always does.
What's he doing here? Get out of here.
Also, last thing, can confirm it was Digimon World. My friend Jess playing some Digimon World today. PS1 game on the PS2. I don't have the right memory card set up to save, so we're just gonna hope it doesn't freeze. Actually, the most accurate recreation of my experience playing this game growing up. I don't know if yours froze, but
That's a summer sort of vibe right there. Is a game that requires a memory card and not having a memory card for sure.
yeah. And then she put up a screenshot of something called the Meat Farm. So that was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
What? Because now Digimon has weirdly not. Sorry for the pun, but evolved into like a crime detective, like visual novel genre, right? That's like what all the new ones are. But like
That's
what
Cyber
kind-
Sleuth.
Yeah. Okay. Cyber Sleuth. Right.
Yeah.
Is Digimon World like a turn-based RPG where you're going on an adventure, or are you like? Does it have a story? I don't.
It's
even
like
know.
there's like a Lost Island. Basically, you're like, what am I doing here? I got transferred to the digital world, you know?
Oh, okay.
And I was like, what is even going on here? And so, there is a huge mystery to that, but it's annoying because you can't progress further until you take care of your little pooping baby. You know what I mean? Like you have to feed and take care of your little screaming monster, which is the complicating factor.
Right. The pooping monster.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Digimon World.
And in the Cyber Sleuth games, as a detective, you no longer have to clean up any poops. Just to be clear.
Okay. Do you even raise Digimon in those games? Not to put us on.
You do. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, you're the super fan, I guess. You're playing all those.
I'm not playing all of them, quite frankly. But Kyle, I feel like you're stalling. Are you prepared to tell us what your summer game is?
Yeah, no, I wasn't sure if you had to select me again. I know I'm like the last in line.
Mm-hmm.
But,
I officially select Kyle Hilliard to present his summer game.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like I'm not going to talk as long as you guys. You guys did a good job at talking, but
Stop
I feel like
refusing to tell us what your game is. I don't know if
Yeah.
you
He's
are
stalling. He's
embarrassed.
definitely stalling.
What is
greatest
this?
summer game of all time is a boring pick. It's The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.
Ooh.
Jenna's like forgetting the bit.
I was so good on all the other times when the bit was
Oh my
happening.
god. I didn't realize you were a Zelda fan.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay.
No. It's my first time tuning in. Even though I'm on the show almost every week.
The reason, though, that I associate Link to the Past in particular to summer is I actually came to Link to the Past late. I played Ocarina of Time and
Late
Majora's
to the
Mask
past.
first, and Link's Awakening. Oh, I missed a joke.
Just
What
keep
did
going.
you
Just it wasn't even a good joke. It was just
No.
very like just cutting and just swift. Late to the past.
Yeah.
That's good. Let's double it. Yeah, so I was late to that game, right? I was trying to think of the timeline for me
Late to the
because
Yeah.
it was yes, thank you, Late to the Past. It came out in '92, and then I associate it directly with like the last true, like the last proper summer that I had, because it was kind of like, I think it was 2000 or 2001 or something like that. It was like I was out of elementary school. I was either getting ready to start high school, or I might have been getting ready to start my sophomore year. I don't quite remember the timing, but it was the last time I remember like truly having absolutely nothing to do. Like I didn't have like, a summer job. I didn't have access to friends easily, if that makes sense. Like in the following summers, some of us were of age to drive. My brother was driving; he could take me places. I had more autonomy where I could meet up with my friends and stuff like that. But I vividly remember this is the last summer where I was like, I woke up, I don't have anything to do, I can't really go anywhere without bugging my parents, and I just went all in on Link to the Past, and I also connected directly to the Blink-182 album Enema of the State, which I would just loop that album over and over, but also not have the TV muted for some reason. So I would have like both soundtracks going at the same time somehow. So I would listen. So like that.
DJ hero moment.
Yeah, so it's so funny. I have this like in my head. I see the title screen, da, 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 and then also like right next to that, I hear that da 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 da, and then you got the hi-hat going, and like all that like blends together in like this vivid memory of like late elementary school, middle school, early high school, summer vacation. Because after that summer, I had commitments. I had autonomy. I could go kind of do stuff on my own and meet up with friends. But I just remember like I would wake up, turn on Link to the Past and Enema of the State, and probably play until like 2 or 3 in the afternoon and be like, I should probably eat now, I guess.
God, that
and that like
nice.
lasted for like, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks or something like that. Because I was definitely going in like no guide. Like I was just like bashing my head against the wall and not looking things up. Even though I guess I did technically have the ability to, which is just how I approach Zelda games in general. Going through it right now with Oracle of Seasons, I'm like, I don't know, like 60% through, and I'm like, I'm not looking anything up. I don't care if this is all outdated. It doesn't feel great. But yeah,
wait, because even at that time, it's kind of a retro game.
Yes, yeah, it was. I was deep into the N64 life cycle, like late into it. Maybe
it was nostalgic from a young era.
Yeah,
yeah. I think maybe like the next summer, maybe I had a PS2 at that point. But yeah, as much as I love Zelda, I actually started with Ocarina of Time and then kind of went back and filled in the gaps. I was too busy playing Mega Man X on my Super Nintendo and never owned a copy of Link to the Past until much later. So it's very specific to me and that time frame, which is like I think all of us remember of like the summer where you just literally had nothing to do, and maybe it drove your parents crazy. But I think even at the time, I recognized it as I was like, I don't think I'm going to have this ever again. So I should just do something that I really want to do, which is, of course, as we can all relate to, listen to Blink-182 and play The Legend of Zelda on your Super Nintendo.
They say it's the true way to experience the game. Like, you didn't get the real ending if you weren't also listening to Blink-182.
Yeah. And DeLong, the noted Zelda fan, he talks about Majora's Mask a lot for some reason. I don't know why. But, I'm sorry, Hoppus. Mark Hoppus. Tom DeLong is the alien guy. Let's not worry about him.
Did you often listen to other music while playing video games growing up, or was something specific about this moment in time?
I think I did, but I don't know why I think it's because I played that game for so long, right? Okay. Where like usually I would get through a game or two, like in a week, where for some reason Link to the Past, maybe I just kept getting stuck on and I was enjoying just sort of walking around and exploring, where that was like, that lasted for a weirdly long time, like maybe 2 or 3 weeks or something like that. Yeah.
What are the songs on that album? Help me out with that. What's the hit?
Well, the hit is All the Small Things, right?
Oh, great.
And
no, that helps. That gives me a good frame of mind. Yep.
Which is like, I mean, not to put us on a tangent here, I don't particularly like those songs. Like, I think those are like weak Blink-182 songs, but they are certainly the ones sort of associated with the album, you know?
So you're saying the album reaches higher heights than those 2 joke tracks?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, I know this album. This is the one with the nurse on the cover.
Yeah, Wendy Clear is a fantastic song.
No, I don't think she's a real nurse.
Dump Weed, Don't Leave Me. Come on, you guys know all these songs.
I really don't. I only know what they showed on TRL. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She actually, that nurse on the cover, she had a red cross on her hat. And they actually had to remove it for secondary printings because it was like illegal to have that.
Yeah, it's like it's a war crime.
It's a literal war crime.
Is it really?
It is.
Yeah,
Skullgirls did the same thing.
Yes, and they had the same
yes,
because
because the Blink-182 did it first.
Understandably so. Like the Red Cross doesn't want ill-intended people posing as the Red Cross. So like you can't be repping Red Cross when you're not Red Cross. And like Stardew Valley had the same issue, I believe, too, at one point. It's just common icon, like people use the symbol like not thinking like this is actually technically the Red Cross, and then the Red Cross is like, hey.
Yeah, I think it's a fair reason to remove it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it also had "What's My Age Again" on there as well.
Yes, yeah, that was also that song's alright. I like that song, right? But A Link to the Past played late. You can't play it in 92, 93. You got to play it in like 99, 2000.
I am so tempted to do this playthrough with this album.
And like, Dark Side of the Moon.
And get the full,
for sure.
And get the full experience. I love that you have. I feel like what's winning me over with your story is specifically the game album mashup, because I also have that with a lot of video games, especially growing. Like I don't do it as much now because I don't know, it just isn't like the space for it isn't the same. But I used to do that all the time, like listening to albums and play games. Like I have like vivid memories of like Jay-Z's The Blueprint 2 and like Crash Team Racing. And like specifically at the
what a combo.
The course that we were talking about like last week, or that I mentioned last week, of the where you go like upside down, the Dr. Cortex's like area in like one specific song, and it's like burned into my mind. So
the weirdest one for me is Radiohead's "Hail to the Thief," and of course, Crackdown for the Xbox 360.
Honestly, that's like that's so political of you, Kyle. It's so bold.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah, I never knew someone who had so much taste and so little taste in one moment.
I had it installed on the hard drive, and then you just, a lot of 360 games had where you could just swap your soundtrack. So I was like, I'll listen to Radiohead.
I like that though, because it shows it's like a little bit of a snob, but then also a man of the people. You know what I mean?
That's Kyle
the
Hilliard.
Chocolate and peanut butter of humanity is that combo right there. I love that.
But anyway, look, Link to the Past, specifically paired with Blink-182's Enema of the State. Mm-hmm. I rest my summer game case, you guys.
Wow.
Compelling.
Did you ever consider that the Link to the Past is actually not like a very fun game to play, though?
I don't think that's accurate. I don't know where you're getting this information.
I've read a lot of studies about this. Apparently, like you can only like change Link's direction in one of four, he can only look one of four ways and then just like stick his sword out. And so it's just kind of like annoying to ever like actually like play the actual game.
I've done a lot of additional research on this, and I'm doing some secondary research by playing Oracle of Seasons right now.
Sure.
And like I can confirm, Bosman, fun to play, still fun to play.
Great.
You should always trust firsthand research,
exactly.
Firsthand investigation into a media object rather than the dubious scientific studies that Kyle Bosman reads on his off hours.
Yeah. According to this peer-reviewed study, you suck and your choice is dumb.
Oh, you're talking about the comment section. Okay, right.
Yeah, reviewed by your mom.
Outside of the bit, actually,
conducted this.
Are you having a good time with Seasons?
I am, yeah. I'm really enjoying it. It's certainly not without its faults. It's a Game Boy Color game from 2000 or something like that. But yeah, it's fun, especially as knowing it's a Fujibayashi game and kind of like having Tears of the Kingdom in the back of my head and being like, ooh, a troupe of musicians. You decided to revisit that one a little bit later, didn't you, Mr. Fujibayashi?
You see a little bit of seeding. You see a little bit, some little seeds in there, which is really cool.
Yeah. There was a sequence where someone stole my jumping feather, and I was annoyed, and I was like, this isn't the lesson. You should have taken the Skyward Sword during that point in the game where, everything gets taken away from you and you have to get it back again. This is not good.
I loved Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages. I played both of them all the way through, even though they're basically the same game.
I'm excited to try. I'm not going to commit necessarily. I will beat Seasons, and I want to play Ages. My goal is to play them both, but we'll see if I get through it before. I don't know. There's some big games coming out.
Yeah, it's true. It's not a summer that you can while away your hours anymore playing Legend of Zelda, unless it's Tears of the Kingdom.
In retrospect, maybe I should have picked Seasons because there's literally a magic wand where you can just make it summer anytime you stand on top of a tree stump.
You didn't, though.
Because you could also make it autumn or winter.
Yeah.
It's not like an especially summer
Why is it always
wand.
a tree stump? They love their tree stumps.
I don't know.
Why are there so many? Why are people keep cutting down these trees?
I don't know. That's question. Another reference that would eventually come to fruition in Breath of the Wild, where you can cut down trees.
Wow.
Grass wasn't enough, Fujibayashi said.
Maybe you were the one who cut down the trees and it's like looping around.
Yeah,
Something
I haven't
to look
played
into,
Ages
Kyle.
yet. No spoilers. I don't know if you do time travel in that game.
The timeline kind of sucks. Impa's like, hey, you ever heard of Zelda? And I'm like, I'm Link, right? I'm like, yeah, I've heard of Zelda. She's like, I take care of Zelda. And I'm like, I know who Zelda is, you know? Like the timeline isn't working in the Oracle games.
Okay.
Kind of upsets me. Okay, so we have taken
also,
it down
I
to
should mention it's like an adventure and you're outside.
you closed your
It's
case.
too late.
That's off
case
the
is
record.
closed.
That's off the record.
I totally.
We
did
can
not
only
even
say
touch
bad
on the
things about the
content
game
of
now.
the game. It was just all My Summer and Blink-182.
That's the way to go,
Yeah,
though,
it's the way
because
to
like
do
if you
it.
get into the content, it's like, look, I'm sure it hits in its own way, but like you're walking around, it's like we get it, we know what you did.
So we've eliminated all other options. There are only 4 games that could possibly be the best summer game of all time. That is Super Mario Sunshine, PictoChat, Digimon World, and Link to the Past. Janet,
Paired with Enema of the State. Very important.
Okay, with the pairing of Enema of the State, a very funny, inappropriate pun.
That's
Okay, for an album title. Janet, you will go first. How are you dispersing your popsicle sticks?
This is tough. I loved everyone's picks quite genuinely. I do feel like it is way too cheap. There's 3 sticks just to give them all to you guys. Like, what are we all gonna do that and sing Kumbaya at the end? No one wants that. Come on. So I can't do that. That's out. I don't want to give myself a stick because it's like, I don't know. I believe in the people. I think too much to do that. And I can give multiple sticks to one person, so it's a tough spot.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, the first stick I want to award, which sounds like a weird sentence that I don't want to have to say again, is to Kyle Bosman. Oh my God, which one is it?
Oh no!
Surprisingly,
Funnily
honestly,
enough,
yes. What is gonna
take
happen
it.
here?
I'll take it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're like, I know this sounds crazy. I know this sounds absurd, but
It does, yeah. It's
okay.
shocking. Genuinely a
Yes.
shocking result.
Because honestly, it's brave of you to come up here and talk about Digimon. And I'm like, I want to reward that bravery. And 2, I did have air conditioning growing up. I did have that privilege, but my parents like never wanted to turn it on. They would only turn it on like after the sun went down. So it was hot as all hell for a long time. But at the time, we did have a house, and that house had a basement. And I was in that basement. And maybe if Digimon was in that basement, I'd be you right now, and we'd be swapping chairs, but we'll never know.
A dark alternate reality.
Exactly. That would be my cat in the background. So that's the first popsicle stick. The second one, I guess I'm gonna go. Oh my God, I don't know where I'm going. I genuinely don't. I think I gotta go with Jenna for the creativity because I never thought about. I feel like no other time in the eons of all. When I look at all the universes, when I put on my Doctor Strange hat and I see all the results, I think there's only one universe where we talk about PictoChat on this channel, and it's the universe where Jenna Stever's sitting here with us, finally giving it its flowers. And then the last one, because again, I don't want to do 3. I don't want to. I don't know, because now I'm wondering, do I just want to give one to myself? That is a little cheap, I feel like. If I
It's
give one to
100%
other
allowed.
Kyle, if I give one to other Kyle's, I don't want to do the 3s. So I'm gonna go. You know what? I will actually give it to myself because Mario was in jail, and I think it's pretty cool. And I don't know if people will acknowledge that and how wonderful that was in game history. But Kyle, thank you for your contributions, even though I gave your stick to other Kyle.
It's okay. I'm trying to think. Has Mario ever else? He's been arrested other times? Surely he's been in the clink.
It's
more
about
than
damn
once.
time.
he gets captured a lot, but I don't know if he's ever been formally arrested like that.
Yeah,
I
by like
know.
the state. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on his
Yeah.
record from Sunshine, right? Yeah.
Mhm. All
I
right.
guess
So
I am-
Jenna, you'll be next.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep one popsicle for myself as a little treat. I just like a popsicle. Really want a popsicle right now. Really sad I don't have a popsicle, and that I'm on a podcast that is going to prevent me from having a popsicle for at least another hour. But I'm going to give myself one symbolically. Number 2, I'm going to give to Janet because Janet, I think yours was the best option. Super Mario Sunshine was just like
Thank you.
a really good choice. I think it was the right choice. But unfortunately, you didn't give a popsicle to Kyle Hilliard, and that made me feel bad. I was going to give you 2. I was going to give you 2 popsicles, but then I felt that Kyle Hilliard did not get. Well, here's the trouble though, because Kyle gets to vote with his popsicles last. So if we give him too many popsicles,
You could just stack the egg.
Yeah, do not feel bad for it. Don't feel bad for anyone. Yeah. This is not about a feelings at all.
Anyone.
Never look them in the eye, Jenna. Come on.
All right, then I'm going to give two to Janet. 1 to me and 2 to Janet, because I think Janet's was factually the best. I think Super Mario Sunshine, if you cracked it open, January 1st, it's icy and cold out, you would feel the warm gush of summer air on your face. I'm sorry, Kyle Hilliard. It's nothing personal. And it was, but they made it not personal, so.
Hey, look, I got 3 popsicle sticks in my back pocket.
We know they're melting.
They're all sticky. They've stained in my back pocket.
Okay, so I've got 3 popsicle sticks. First definitely goes to Super Mario Sunshine.
Yeah.
It does almost feel like the right choice, but also, we heard some incredible personal elements to it. Peach's confusion about maybe being potentially the mother. That mystery, you know what I mean? Because maybe she did just pop out an egg. You know what I mean? Like Bowser Jr. was born from an egg. He has no belly button, so maybe at some point she did pop out an egg. That could have happened.
Yeah,
sure.
Just one shed off your back or something. You know what I mean?
We have no way of knowing.
Yeah. And then 2 popsicle sticks to Link to the Past.
Whoa.
Oh.
Now, please understand.
Okay.
Please understand. I hate Link to the Past, but of course, Link to the Past in this case is.
Why do you hate fun, Kyle Bosman?
There's just certain kinds of fun I don't have a taste for. But
it's too much fun. I get it. You don't want to overload yourself.
You've paired it with Blink 182, and I'm just imagining a summer child just, ruining themselves. You know what I mean? There's nothing worse you could do with this time than Link to the Past and Blink 182, and yet there's just something so beautiful about it. That is that's the summer game. You know what I mean? That's like the summer moment. There's
in the band's name, so it felt right. So
Link to the Past.
Link? Oh my gosh. That's what I'm imagining is imagine somebody's got Chex Mix, right? And then they just pour Pepsi into it and eat it. That's me imagining young Kyle Hilliard doing it. You know what I mean? He's got an N64. He could be playing better games, but no, he chose that game and that album. It's 2 popsicle sticks.
Ooh,
I'm settled.
Right.
Giving Kyle H all the power.
Truly. Let's see. I mean, I could sway a lot of things here. I could give all 3 to one person. I could just, if I give them all to myself, I win.
Yeah, that is true.
That's true.
But you don't. Sorry, just to be clear.
We all know how much is at stake here.
You don't win anything. Your game wins.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's true.
And your game has to split it.
Yeah, but when you coach the team, you get a ring too.
That's true. Also, I would take pride in knowing that I truly played the best summer game the right way.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
But here's what I'm gonna do. This was what I had in my head before we even knew what the order was. Okay, Janet, you get a popsicle stick because I think just factually, I think Mario Sunshine's kind of undeniable, frankly. Just the content of the game, even separate from the personal experience. And then the rest, Jenna, I'm giving you the other 2 because I did not expect Picto Chat, and I think that's a good weird choice, and I like a good weird choice.
Yeah.
And
that's why you put on Blink 182 when you were playing Link to the Past.
That's right. And I don't know. Yeah, the way Bosman's talking about Link to the Past makes me want to not give any popsicle sticks to Digimon World, right? That's how politics works, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
That's not supposed to be what this is about. You're talking about the games and not the people.
I'm sorry, Kyle, are you bringing politics into gaming? Because
oh, gosh, I'm sorry. Please. Yeah, let's take that out.
Well, I think if I'm doing my numbers right, it means Janet won. Sorry. It means Super Mario Sunshine won.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And everyone knows we're one the same. Thank you.
Actually, I got a MinnMax question. Would now be the time where you're supposed to put your hands behind your head and say, "I could get used to this"?
No, that's for back of the box trivia. That's
something else. Is that specifically just for back of the box trivia?
I think I don't think Janet or Jenna know what you're talking
No clue. No clue.
I was
Absolutely.
just like, it's just like weird Hansen thing. So you know what I mean? Like he talks to me like about stuff like that. Like I'm supposed to know that's a normal thing, you know?
I think
He's just
sometimes
like-
he just does things.
Yeah.
He's like, that's what we do. It's how we do it here.
No, I think the time to do it would have been if there was a tie, and then
Oh.
then
That's
you
the
would have to do
tiebreaker.
it before the tiebreaker. I think.
Got it.
Okay.
There was
If we
absolutely
wanna-
no time.
If we want to sort of pose it onto a different game, right?
Do you know what though? We somehow, I feel like, stumbled upon the truth. You know what I mean? Like somebody clicked on this video for the best summer game of all time, and they were probably like, "What are they talking? Why is this guy bringing Digimon World?" But like, we actually got to Super Mario Sunshine. We actually got to the one.
I think
Yeah,
they heard Janet say Super Mario Sunshine and were like, well, she's right, and then closed the video. I don't think they made it to this point.
Yeah,
They
we
wrote the
shouldn't have you
comment,
first.
"Welp, she's right."
That's usually how people admit that I'm right. With a little bit of sadness. I guess it was true. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And they're like, well, you didn't have to say it. You know?
I have another weird MinnMax question.
Mm-hmm.
How does this whole thing operate?
Summers. Just
Weird
summers.
combos. Weird music
Okay.
combos.
Sure,
The
sure,
month
sure.
Between August or April and
So you admit that August is summer.
Oh my god!
We can't relitigate.
Okay, I apologize.
Starts in June. Summer starts in June.
Okay.
But you're right. Like movie summer, absolutely. It's like, hey, it's April. Let's start watching our summer movies. You're right. Yeah, no, summer starts in June. Anyway, patreon.com/MinnMax is how this whole thing operates. That would be where you would want to go to see behind the scenes content for this podcast and many others, see things early, many different tiers and things that benefits you can check out. Genuine question, serious question, not a bit. Like what would somebody have to look forward to on patreon.com/MinnMax this week?
I mean, the first. Oh, gotta go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, we're gonna do a spoiler chat later this week, and if I remember correctly, that's Patreon only. But maybe the long timers, the lifers here, can explain.
I think the podcast version of it will be Patreon only, but
Okay.
a YouTube version will go up. I do think we try to really create a vibe where you can enjoy a lot of our content without being on Patreon. But if you're on Patreon, you kind of get an amplified version. So the first thing that came to mind for me was New Show Plus, like voting on what we stream for New Show Plus. Because it came down to literally like one vote.
One
this week.
vote, yeah.
So your sign up in existence in that voting can literally change the course of history.
And if you never heard of New
$2
Show,
or something.
if you never heard of New Show Plus, this is crazy. It is basically, let's try out a new series every week. You get to vote on like one of 4 ideas for like what our new weekly series could be. And then like one can get picked up for many weeks in a row. Like
Yeah.
you can have a combo. But most of the time, everybody's just ready to move on after 1 week.
Usually, we have a couple long runners. You know, it's how we got shows like House Hunter Rise. It's how we had Sarah the Horse Girl. It's how we had Ben's bad New Show Plus ideas that might be secretly good.
That was like 3 weeks running, I feel like.
Yeah, we were there for a while. The one we just did was Leo Vader doing GeoGuessr, aka Leo Guesser, and we'll see if that gets renewed. It's up for y'all to decide.
That's good stuff.
Love that stuff. Now we're going to take a moment to thank MinnMax's biggest supporters. We're talking about I Am 8-Bit, of course, who they've got a neon white exclusive physical edition for PS5 and Switch. You're wondering what Neon White is? That's the single-player speedrunning FPS where you can sacrifice your guns for godlike parkour moves. I didn't say this last week. I love Neon White. The game's for freaks by freaks, right? So at first you're like, well, I don't know if I'm freaky enough for this. Trust me, you are.
If you're a Digimon kid, you're allowed to play Neon White.
But even like, this is what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, Digimon kids are already playing it. You know what I mean? But like, maybe if you're like a Pokemon kid, like think about it. Consider it.
Normie, if you will.
Yeah. So it does include 5 neon white anime style character peeker stickers. I was driving with my dad yesterday, and I was like, check those out. Those are anime style character peeker stickers. It was like I was talking about these on the podcast last week, and he's like, what? It's like, never mind.
He knew one of those words. He knew sticker.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But basically, it's like a little car sticker where just like it looks like a little anime character is peeping out of your window.
Cute.
Yeah, very cute. The I Am 8-Bit also, hey, every single week, the winner of the best community question, which is coming up, they send out a prize to that person. The prize this week is crazy. It's the Muppet movie vinyl soundtrack, Hermit Green Edition, which is exclusive to I Am 8-Bit. There's two different colors you can get the LP on. It can be Kermit Green or Miss Piggy Pink. They're giving away right now the Kermit Green edition. I Am 8-Bit exclusive to the person with the best question. However, if you just want to go shopping on I Am 8-Bit, there's a promo code for $10 off everything under $100. That promo code is Goat Cheese Month. All caps, all one word. The greatest of all time, Cheese Month. Goat Cheese Month. $10 off everything under $100 at iam8bit.com.
Good advertiser voice on the .com there.
Thank you. .com. Now time for community questions. Yeah, to me, crazy stakes, right? Like if you had the best question of the week, you get a Kermit LP. Come on, man. All right. Here we will start with this one. This is from Joe McMartin. I recently played God of War 2018 and mentioned to my friends I didn't enjoy the beginning because you are forced to block a ton. I stated to them I actively try to avoid blocking in all games at all times. For example, I don't think I ever blocked in Elden Ring or Tears of the Kingdom. Even in turn-based RPGs, I will never select the defend block option. My friends think that I am crazy. Am I crazy?
You are correct.
No. Yes.
That's the right way to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way because from a mechanical gameplay perspective, blocking is effectively waiting for something to happen.
Yes.
And where rolling out of the way is active, and you are you are doing something while the combat is happening. So I don't ever want to wait for anything if I'm fighting somebody. I would much rather roll out of the way than block. I really don't block. I rarely block.
Yeah, same.
Maybe a counter now and again, but
yeah, I'll parry.
Yeah.
If the vibe's right, I'll parry.
I only block when I miss my parry, which is most of the time I try to parry, which is why I don't try to parry.
Yeah, that's very fair. No, Kyle, is basically exactly what I was gonna say. Where it's just like it's if you're in like a flow in a boss battle, part of that is like wanting to keep moving and wanting to like close the distance and like pull back as needed to like engage and disengage. And when you're blocking, you're just kind of like hunkering down. And I mean, I love to see, but not play like blocking builds in a Dark Souls game where they've just got like the biggest, weirdest shield that like breathes fire or whatever. And they're using that to tank up and like turtle an enemy. I like to see those sorts of things. But when I'm playing, like I want to be a little bit more mobile and I want to be a little bit more limber. And that means doing dodge rolls and not blocking.
Totally. We're agreed. We're on the same page.
Yeah, Kyle. Love that.
It's true. So like when I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom, right? There was a long time for which I was like, I don't need more shield slots because I never break a shield. To break a shield, you have to be like blocking 100. Like I'm not going to block enough to break any of these shields, you know? I like 100% get that. And the one that really got to me is the turn-based RPGs. It's such a waste of a turn to ever defend.
Yeah.
Oh boy, do I hate that.
Yeah, you're just buying time, and for what? For what?
Mm-hmm.
If your enemy is poisoned, sometimes I might do a block,
fair.
and I just let. I love working really hard to let things just run themselves. Like I'm always doing poison stuff. I'm always doing like little creatures doing my bidding, whether it's like Diablo or like Ratchet and Clank with like the Glove of Doom. Like I'm here to watch other people play the game for me within the game.
Making yourself a manager of the game stuff.
Yeah,
I like that.
I hate that that's true about me. But it is.
That can actually be fun. Like, so let's say in a Pokemon game, right? You do toxic turn 1, right? And then the next turn, I forget what it's called.
Kyle Bosman.
Okay, so here's the secret: is I also love Pokemon.
What?
Yeah. Okay, so now that I have to stop defending Digimon so much, I can now reveal that I love Pokemon as well. But what's weird is the name of the move escapes me. The one where you just like defend any move no matter what.
Oh. Yeah, no, I don't remember it either.
It's like essential to the Pokemon meta. Somebody on backstage has it, assuredly. But anyway, when it's mind games, blocking can be fun. Protect, of course.
I'm Leafeon. Which, of course, who else?
Of course.
Leafeon.
Coming in with all the corrections today. Yeah.
When it's mind games, when it's like, oh, I knew you would try to attack me and I blocked, then it's really fun. And so I think it's like the active thing that Kyle was talking about, where like if it's you having to wait and you not making an active decision, it's absolutely no fun. But if it's like you taking an advantage and like thinking ahead and be like, okay, I'm blocking right now. Watch this. Yeah. You've got 2 turns of poison on you. That's so fun.
Yeah, I guess cause I was only thinking about like action RPGs where you're physically moving your character about, because that's usually what I play as opposed to an RPG. But I think that's a good point. That's like there's the go element, right, of Pokemon, obviously, where you're trying to counter-react to the enemy's moves. So sometimes blocking can be wise, but I still never do it. Refuse.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's simply not fun. This comes to us from William Koenig. What's your favorite TV show opener?
Sopranos.
Ooh.
What is it? How does Sopranos open?
The woke up this morning guy, stuff like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's like shots of New Jersey from a car.
Yeah, and they're just driving. Like, that's pretty fun. That's like fun almost every time.
That's pretty good.
I have a recent one that I don't know is particularly popular that I really fell in love with watching with my kid. Is there's this Disney show called Star versus the Forces of Evil that has like, I remember watching the first couple episodes and being like, my God, this opening is incredible. This is like the second coming of like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles opening. Like nothing got me more hyped as a child than the sort of the pan down to the sewer, and the and like this. I was watching this and I'm like, this is it. This is it for the new generation. Star versus the Forces of Evil. They did it. Damn it, they did it.
It's that hyped up. It's like that energetic, I would say.
Yeah, I'd go look it up. Star versus the Forces of Evil opening. I mean, I don't know if it's if you guys can hear the song or whatever, but it's just great show too, by the way. Highly recommend. But
mine is sort of a similar vibe from my childhood. Just when you hear Keith David start to go, 1,000 years ago, superstition and the sword ruled. It was a time of darkness. It was the age of fear. It was the age of gargoyles. And then it's like the like the really dramatic Dracula piano. That is just iconic to me because it was from that era of when the TV show had to have like a little backstory about what it is because nobody was binging, and it was just like, here, let me catch you up on everything you need to know about what this show is going into it. So we're just gonna give you a full story about what it is. Like that, I kind of miss that in shows. I know why we can't have that anymore. I kind of miss that.
For like a strangely similar reason, I'm gonna go with Power Rangers. Or obviously the first original Go Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Similarly, it does teach you everything you need to know about the show, but with zero lyrics. You know what I mean? It's not like these are teens and they put on suits and then there's robots. You know what I mean? They don't have to say anything. They just say Go Power Rangers, you mighty morphin Power Rangers. It's like, oh, I get it. I got it. Thank you. You know.
I think I learned recently that the guy that wrote that also wrote like some other crazy. I think he did Inspector Gadget as well.
Whoa.
Oh my God,
I could be wrong about
they
that.
have similar vibes, even if he didn't. I think about it.
There was one. I'll have to look it up while we continue. But there was there were two that I was like, the same guy wrote both of those. I'll have to figure out what it is. Sorry, I don't have the answer off the top of my head.
Question from Victor Pham: is it easier to enjoy a bad show or movie than a bad game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Movie short. Game long.
Yeah. Also game work, if we're not saying any verbs.
Movie passive, video game active, right?
Yeah.
Also, you can be compromised and be watching a movie or a show. And you can do that by playing games, but because games require like an active participation, it's not, you have to be somewhat involved while like the show can just kind of happen to you. You know, you're just there taking it in.
Yeah, I like.
Let me complicate the question a little bit then. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jenna.
I just liked the word compromised in that sentence.
Yes.
So like, let's say the game is like pretty good. The badness is in the writing and performance, just like a bad TV show or bad movie would be. Like the badness is just in the writing element of it. You know what I mean? It has the same badness of a TV show.
Oh,
That's most games, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's like, I'm like, so Super Mario Sunshine. Like, that's great.
Oh, come on now. Yeah. Okay. So like,
if with that context, I think I actually have more patience for video games because like I will if I'm enjoying the gameplay, that's plenty to get me excited and enjoying it. I always kind of point to Resident Evil as like a series whose like stories and performances are stupid but engaging, and I want to see what happens next, and then the actual gameplay keeps me going. But like, I'll turn off. I started watching the new season of Futurama, and I got halfway through the episode and I turned it off, and I was like, I don't think I really miss Futurama.
I forgot that it was still going. I'm so sad to hear it's still going because you know it's not going well.
And I don't even know if I would say like, oh, it was terrible, it was bad. Right. It was just like, maybe I'm just not in the mood right now or something, and I just like turned it off and never went back to it, and I've been perfectly happy with that. You know?
Well, I feel like it's more like mid versus bad, because to me, bad is like when I thought of like bad movie, bad TV show, I assumed it'd be like so bad it's enjoyable and that it's bad kind of thing, which I don't have a lot of. I don't dig into that well very often just because I'm not that interested in it, but every now and then I'll do it. And it's definitely more fun than I think playing a game. I think too, it's a little bit cheating because games have like, even a game with like a lot of writing isn't going to have as much in your face writing as like a movie or TV show. Like obviously behind the scenes, there's lots of like lore writing and different, you know, barks and things, but it's not like it's acted in the same way, unless it's like a narrative game where it's all like story.
Yeah, I'm saying that like, let's say the Futurama reboot was a video game and that Kyle had to like, you know, grind for XP and fill out a skill tree in between, you know, chunks
so high on life.
That exact story. Yeah. I feel like it is more bearable, right? Like let's say like I know after this next little bender scene, I'm going to get like a new level. It is way more bearable.
But I mean this is ignoring the thing that games are known for, which is the gameplay part of it. And so I think it's something entirely different if you consider like not the one-to-one of it, but as to like the metaphorical comparison, which is like if the gameplay is bad. And like that is really unbearable. Like I've definitely dug into some games where it's like, this game just come out, it's 2023, I want to play this game that just came out, let's figure out how to do this. And if it just doesn't feel good to play, and if it's not rewarding in some way, that's just it. Like it's just it doesn't matter how good the story is or how good the art is. Like if it doesn't feel good to play, you're just going to bounce. And I feel like that's not always the case with a show. With a show, I'll be like, well, I'm just knitting. I'm not really paying attention. So if this is bad, it's fine.
I will say I do feel like I have more disdain for somebody who made a bad TV show or movie than I do for someone who made a bad game.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Like one of my favorite games I played this year is Wanted Dead. It's a bad game, but I love playing through that game. If that game was a movie, I wouldn't give it a second. But I feel like part of like being in this weird world that people hate kind of like makes it special. You know what I mean? Like what if there was a cave in your hometown and everybody's like, that cave sucks. Do not go in that cave. Obviously, I'm going to be like, I got to check that cave out.
That's Life is Strange True Colors. That's literally the plot of Life is Strange True Colors.
Is it really? That's funny.
Yeah. It's a great game.
That's kind of where I'm at. Yeah. I'm just going, I got to check out that cave. But like, if the cave is a movie, I'm like, oh, I'm good. I'm all right.
So don't visit any national parks, Kyle, because people go missing all the time. And I feel like if your attitude is don't go in that cave, I'm going in the cave, that might not serve you well out there. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely installed Crime Boss Rockay City this year with that sort of mindset.
We did play Gollum for that with that same mindset as well for New Show Plus.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the premise of the New Show Plus with Gollum?
It was yuck my Gollum, like yuck my yum. And then
Yikes. Sweaty. That's a sweaty pun.
Hey, well, I got votes, right? I got votes.
Yeah. It's provocative. Or it's don't yuck my golem. It doesn't make it better, but you know what I mean. Yeah. That was, and it was Ben and Sarah playing it.
Great.
And she was like, I hear there's like a bad game when it's AAA budget, and I gotta see what it is.
Yeah,
you know, that was kind of her attitude going into it, which
I did play through Gollum this year too. Yeah.
You played through it?
Yeah.
Taste testing is way different than like I'm in and I'm like not getting out. You know what I mean?
Was this like you going to see that dragon movie dressed with your friends and stuff?
Well, no,
Yeah,
if you go to twitch.tv/Kyle Bosman, you're gonna see a lot of freaky gremlin stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's
Gremlin
your
stuff.
channel. I
beyond Gollum, even you're saying.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. By the way, the writer of the Power Rangers theme song also wrote the '90s X-Men animated show.
Oh my god!
Wow,
so that actually makes sense. That's just like, oh, you're a musical genius.
Bangers. Fingers on the pulse.
I'm dead serious. Those are all timers.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Question from Travis and Fargo. Y'all drink milk?
Yeah. Love milk. Pro milk. Big milk head.
Not
Big
regularly.
milk hours over
I'm not
here.
against it, but
I've been drinking a lot of matcha tea from Starbucks. It's like what I order when I go there lately, and I guess that's mostly milk, which is like I'm not usually a milk drinker, but
that doesn't count as drinking milk. That's like saying I drink milk because I have it in my coffee or something. You know?
Is matcha different from mocha? What are we talking about here?
Powdered green
absolutely. Matcha is like I don't even know how to. It's a very specific flavor. Like
it's a powdered green tea, so it's like green tea that's been ground, and it has like a sort of grassy vegetal taste, but in a nice way, not how I described it.
And then you throw some sugar in there, and you got a stew going. But
is it spelled the same way?
Matcha? Not mocha, matcha. M-A-T-C-H-A.
Yeah, how do you spell it?
Yeah.
M-A-T-C-H-A.
Yeah.
But Janet, I would put it on a different level than just adding milk to your coffee, because it's mostly milk with a matcha powder poured into it and some sugar, I think. So that is like that's like I do find myself drinking basically a glass of milk when I'm drinking like a matcha tea.
Okay, but if somebody came in and they were like, "What are you drinking?" You wouldn't be like, "Milk." I got a glass of milk.
Really.
You wouldn't have matcha and cookies. You know what I mean? This is like getting hot dog sandwich territory, where it's like, okay, we can get that semantically. A hot dog is a sandwich, but if you go to a sandwich shop and order a hot dog, you're a jerk. It's like you know what I mean? Can I get a glass of milk and you pour matcha? They'd be like, what kind of game are you playing here, Hilliard?
Matcha is becoming a big part of my life, though. So like, I wouldn't
great.
I'd be open to try it. I'd dip a chocolate chip cookie in a matcha.
100.
Can you do that and then tell us how it went?
Give us the update on that.
Will do.
Love to hear that goes. I love matcha.
Okay, but let's say you ask me like, hey Kyle, do you eat cheese? And I'm like, no. And then like 2 seconds later, I'm eating a pizza. You know what I mean? Like to me, that's the same thing Kyle's talking about right here.
That's different because you are like consuming the ingredient, not raw because you're cooking it, but it's like, I don't know. It's not. Also, the question is, do you drink milk? Not do you? I guess I get what you mean, but I feel like again, it's
Kyle
like
Hilliard didn't say I don't drink milk, but I do drink matcha latte, right?
Yes.
That's not what you said.
Yeah.
He says I consume it within my matcha. Yeah.
Yes.
I guess what I was saying is I won't really sit down and have a glass of milk.
Oh,
Yes.
But
man.
when I have a
That's how your
matcha
bones
tea,
get
I
strong.
need to admit to myself that I'm basically drinking a glass of milk.
Yes.
Is what I'm saying.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
In New York, there's a local dairy, and you could get cream line dairy. People in the chat were asking what type of milk I like. I usually go for a 2%, but when I lived in New York and could get that cream line, because it was whole milk and also so thick with fat that it came with like a solid inch, maybe 2 inches of cream on top that you would have to like...
Sounds terrible.
Yeah, you'd have to like shake it to get the cream to like re-emulsify. But also, if you got like you could get like bottles of the cream line milk from the store, and it would just have like whole. I want to emphasize that this is a good thing. Whole chunks of like cream, like clotted cream, basically, that you could either mix it back up or you could just drink, and it would be like, oh, I just got a little mouthful of cream. It's nice.
This is a restaurant? Cream line?
No, cream line is a type. It's a type of a milk. It's just you don't often get it because I don't know why it's not more popular. People don't like things floating in their milk, I guess.
I guess it is a restaurant too, for what it's worth.
Oh, is it? Okay.
New York City.
Yeah. It's nice.
Next up, we got a game from Groffles.
Yay.
Oh, sorry, I've got nothing to say about milk. All right, little behind the scenes here, right? Little behind the
Sounds
scenes.
like you got something to say
I'm a
about
little scared. Yeah.
We ask everybody like, hey, here's a list of questions. What do you like? What are you into? And like everybody behind the scenes gives a thumbs up to like the ones they're interested in. Y'all got 3 thumbs. Mm-hmm. There was heavy excitement for that question.
Excited to talk about matcha.
I wanted to know the context because also for context, it's just the question. There's no like background information about what leads up to the question.
You're right. All the other questions are like, yeah, last week my father gave me a milk farm and I've just started learning how to milk. Y'all drink milk. No, just the question was, y'all drink milk, 3 questions.
Yeah, and I voted because I wanted to know what the context was. So that's a hot tip for listeners wanting to get their question selected.
Yeah, if it's 3 words, I'll probably pick it up. Yeah.
I picked it because I think it's always interesting to me, like if people do drink milk, like as adults, like because I think as a kid, like that's pretty common, but
yeah,
I don't know. There's always like some type of story behind it, kind of like Jenna, you kind of explained like what kind of milk you were drinking, and then Kyle had his matcha milk debate. Like I feel like it would go in interesting directions.
Yeah, it did truly, yeah.
Because everyone has like a history with milk, even if you don't drink it. Like there's something there. You got an opinion, It's a hot topic.
Everyone has a history with milk. It's true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
New show plus idea.
Do not.
That's cream of the steam. That's cream of the steam.
Hey!
Oh, that's right.
Cream line of the steam.
We got a game from Groffles. Hey, MinnMax, you want to play a game? We do. I have a game called Tag That Movie. It's pretty simple. You will be told the tagline of a movie, and you have to guess the name of the movie. As we are going to keep this as easy as we can, since it is already pretty darn hard, the category will be 2023 movies with a high domestic box office. Nothing esoteric. Here is the example. Tagline. It's a me. Answer, the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah, it's me, Oppenheimer.
Oh my God. All right, here we go. Tagline. It's time to face the music.
I don't know a single movie that came out this year.
Do you want guesses or hand
Oh yeah,
raises,
just shout it out. Yeah.
Is it Elvis?
Was that
No,
his
great
year?
guess. Great guess.
I was thinking that too. I was like, is this year though?
Face the music.
The answer is. Well, okay, look, I'll give you another hint.
Sure.
All right, so like let's think of like a director who just loves putting music in his superhero
Guardians
movies.
of the Galaxy 3.
Yes.
There we go.
Nice.
The world forever changes.
Is that not Oppenheimer?
Was there Jurassic?
That is Oppenheimer.
What was my
You
first
wrote
thought?
Jurassic World on that?
I have not been paying attention to Oppenheimer at all.
It's good.
I hear
You can
so.
skip it. You can skip it.
3 hours is such a commitment.
Yeah. You could honestly, you could go to
Me and
Wikipedia.
my 300-hour game,
Yeah, it's 20 minutes on Wikipedia or a 3-hour movie.
You can say that about any movie.
This one's history. This one's actually like history. Okay. All right. Anyway.
So it's more okay to just read on Wikipedia because it's history.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's not art. No. Okay. That's a joke.
A legend will face his destiny.
Is it like a Pixar movie?
They had
A
Elvis
legend
here, but that's not what happened
will
in that
face his destiny.
movie. Is it Super Mario Brothers again?
No.
His destiny.
Yeah. What movie has a man in it?
I don't
$1
think
name a
any.
man.
Most
I don't think
movies?
we already named Oppenheimer, and that's the only movie with a man that came out this year.
His destiny.
Oh,
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. You got there. Yeah.
Forgot that
A
one.
legend will face his destiny is the tagline for that. That was so
Dial of
marketing was
Destiny.
so wrong from the start. Yeah. The Last Ride.
Fast.
Joyride?
Yeah, Fast 10.
Oh.
Or is it Fast X? I don't know if I can give you full credit for that.
I've never seen any of those movies.
Wow.
They're great.
What's
Joyride
your
I watched
family
so
in
recently.
cars?
That was very funny.
Yeah, Joy was funny.
I think it's messed up. It's like it's like obviously not The Last Ride. Vin Diesel's like, we're making 2 more of these. So like, well, then don't call it The Last Ride. Based on the incredible true story.
That's a tagline? That's so lazy.
This one's the hardest.
Wait, is it The Machine?
No.
Is that one Barbie?
No. Based on the incredible true story.
Incredible true
The
story.
Incredibles?
This is a movie that's like making a lot of money, and I've never heard of it before.
Uh-oh.
Currently in theaters.
Currently in theaters.
Say it one more time. Sorry, the tagline.
Based on the incredible true story.
Based on the incredible true story. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
Very close. Sound of Freedom.
What is that?
Oh, okay.
That's the Caviezel movie
Sound of Freedom.
about like child trafficking.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I haven't seen
no,
this
one.
Yeah, never
it's
have not heard a single thing about this one.
Not an impressive tagline either. Opposites react.
Elemental.
Yes, there we
I was
go.
thinking,
That is
yeah,
it.
that's the Pixar movie. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. She's everything.
Barbie.
Yep.
He's just kidding.
No, the full
They
tagline
did
is
a good
she's
job with that tagline.
Yeah, it's
she's
pretty good.
everything. He's just Ken is the
Yes.
full tagline. Yep.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, I picture the poster so vividly, and people talked about. That's like a tagline people talked about. Like people analyzed that tagline.
Yeah.
It's pretty. I like it. You know what I'm thinking about? Well, maybe a discussion after the game. Video games need more stuff like this. These are so fun.
Taglines?
Yeah.
Taglines. Yeah. Be a part of her world.
Oh, the Little Mermaid.
Teenage
Oh,
Mutant
Little
Ninja
Mermaid.
Turtles. Keep throwing that out there.
Be a part of her world is the tagline. Come on, man. All right. 2 more. Tagline is Baba Yaga.
The John Wick.
Yeah.
The one, the
that's
John Wick
that's the
one.
tagline.
Just Baba Yaga. Okay.
Because that's
Yeah.
he's Baba Yaga, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only seen the first one. Yeah.
Unite or fall.
Unite
Last one.
or fall. What action movies came out yet? Did Polite Society
Mission
come
Impossible?
out? Oh, it's got to be Mission Impossible.
It is not Mission Impossible, but it is an action movie. So good instinct there.
Okay.
Unite or fall.
The Flash.
Ooh.
The Flash goes fast. What is that going to do with? Oh, I guess he's got to like team up with other
He's gotta
Flashes
get
and
everybody
Batmans.
together. That's the whole.
Yeah,
movie.
but not the case. Nope.
Okay.
That one DC movie that's coming out.
Is that not
Blue
the
Beetle?
Flash?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not Blue Beetle. No,
I'm
no.
trying to think of like a team having to get together or something.
Yeah, it is a team.
It's not Guardians of the Galaxy again.
Mm-mm, no.
Fast.
What other Marvel movies came out this year? Is it
It's
the
not a Marvel
Marvels?
movie. It's not a Marvel movie. No.
Is
That
it
one's
a
not.
DC movie? Was there another DC movie?
Not a DC
Other than
not
the
a
ones
DC.
we mentioned?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
Unfortunately,
Is
no.
it
I can't
animated?
believe we didn't get that one.
What is
It
this?
is not animated.
It's a
Unite or
a
fall.
live action movie. It's already come out.
Yeah, it is already out.
Is it out now?
It's out on digital now. You can go buy this or watch it for free on Paramount Plus.
Ooh, it feels like it's a good clue, but oh boy.
The Maximals are in this movie.
The Maximals?
Is it
Yeah,
like
the
a Paw
Maximals.
Patrol movie.
No, it's hard. Unfortunately, not Paw Patrol.
That's a good guess.
Which I don't think there was. There's one later this year, I think. Paw Patrol.
Yeah, it's
I
coming.
have no clue.
Same day as Saw 10, right? Because everyone's calling it Paw 10, like Barbenheimer. Very
Oh
clever.
Lord.
Yeah, but they're forcing Paw. They're forcing the Paw thing.
Janet was so upset by this that she just left.
She bailed.
She honestly, yeah. To listeners, it's not like Janet's stumped. She just left us.
She had to go get her newspaper to see what the movie show
yeah,
times were.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. As one does.
Yeah,
To check the listings.
All right, so we're deep in this franchise. This is one of Universal's remaining killer franchises.
Is it a
It's
horror movie? Horror
It's
action?
not
No, it's kind of like it's almost like it's based off of a successful toy line.
Transformers.
It's been around. Yes.
They had a movie this year?
Transformers:
The
Rise of the
movie?
Beasts.
Oh, okay.
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 That's all of our reactions. Like, oh yeah, they still make those, huh? Okay.
This game ended in the funnest possible way. An entirely indifferent panel, like
It's a fun
barely is
game.
aware of the new Transformers movie.
It's a good game.
Also-
Thank you.
To inadvertently replug the vlog, which we have like the 10-hour, that's something you got on the Patreon, the 10-hour cut of the SGF Universal combo. It'd been a long time since I've been to Universal, and I remember the Transformers ride being really fun and like having like fire and like being like super wild. and then rewrote it, and it like didn't have that. And then I was also thinking like it's like a classic thing where like you recommend something and then you kind of forget like what's whack about it, and then now it's like no, now they think I'm whack because this thing. I was like, guys, it's so cool. Like, don't even worry about liking the IP. Like, it's so cool. And then Leo and Sarah were like, what's going on here?
So
like,
sad.
it's all I'm like, oh no. So
I had that
was
happen
rough.
one
But
time.
you can watch
I
a
was
10-hour version of that for like, I don't know for how much money it is for that tier. I think it's
Oh yeah, good promo. Because you put up like an hour-long version of your trip.
Yeah. We have two separate hour-long ones that are public, like the SGF and then Universal, but like Leo Vader very generously cut the 10-hour version, the unedited, smattered together version.
There was this one time I was hanging out with 3 really cool people, right? And like I was talking about like how good Digimon World was, and it was like I had that same exact feeling where it's like, oh no, they're gonna think that I'm whack.
I can't. I'm not playing it now though. Like for all I know, this is like one of the best games ever, and I'm
That's
just.
the thing
and
is
you're
they
cool.
had to sit,
It's like like we don't.
I'm
know.
not clamping you into Digimon World. They were clamped in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we like stood in line, we like sat down and had like this, and then they're like, "What's going on here? Am I inside the machine? Am I not in?" And I'm like, "Well, the robots and their cars, like
The robots in their car.
it was so rough. It wasn't good. Anyway,
Let's
Hold on,
do
I got a bonus tagline.
Ooh.
Heroes aren't born; they're mutated.
Now that's
oh yeah,
it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
that would have got you to get
I was
it.
curious what it was.
That's a good one.
That movie looks good, by the way.
It does look
I'm
good.
excited.
I can't believe it. The visual style. Come on, man. That's so nice. What was it? Was it like 2012 they did an animated Ninja Turtles movie and you're like, you did it wrong. Stop already. You already like you made them look wrong.
Oh, the Michael Bay produced one. Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the animated one, but yeah, even Michael Bay, it's like, no, just make them look right. And like this is I think it's a good interpretation, you know what I mean?
I think that was like 2007-ish.
Okay.
I think. But I remember that one too. Yeah, I'm excited for this one.
Let's do Uno Mas from Derek Ireland. To go along with the great I Am 8-Bit prize, if you were a Muppet, which one would you be and why?
My brother is a very good artist and would just, sketched all the time, was always drawing things. And he drew this picture of me in that Blink-182 Link to the Past era where it was just me flailing like crazy, like at the kitchen table, because I was a very antsy drummer.
Yes.
So obviously I would be Kermit the Frog.
Oh.
No, Animal. But I think I've calmed down a lot since then. But yeah, certainly Animal when I was younger. I wasn't
still play
really
the drums?
rambunctious. I wasn't like causing problems. I wasn't like running around and being a difficult child. I was just antsy. Like I was always just like moving and tapping on things.
Which
all
is
the time.
just what Animal is. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Damn. I was gonna pick.
You still
Animal.
play the
I don't really
drums?
know the other ones.
Love Animal.
Yeah, not nearly as much as I used to. But yeah, I have a drum set right over there.
Wow.
One day it's
Drum
gonna
set.
be the new Show Plus thing once you can figure out
That's right. Yeah.
like
Would you-
12 different technological obstacles.
Yeah, Ben asked me a while ago of like, hey, would you want to play drums for New Show Plus? I was like, yeah, I'll buy a cable. And then I bought the cable and I was like, I still am not sure how to do this. But someday,
Classic.
yeah.
I want to be, I don't know if I am, but I want to be a Statler or Waldorf. Those two old men in the balcony who are always yelling at Fozzie for his terrible jokes.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Those are who I spiritually, I would like to be in my day-to-day life.
Do you have a preference between the two of them?
I like Statler a little bit more because he's kind of shorter and squatter and rounder in the face, just like I am.
Perfect. All right. So you get to be Styler. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Janet, are you currently looking at what different Muppets look like right now?
Oh, 100%. Because I'm like, I figured Animal because he's like got a lot of energy. Or whatever.
He's
But I
taken
seem
though. Yeah.
Incredibly
We can
muted
both
now.
be
But
Animal, that's fine.
yeah, but it's like now it's like the same. I don't know. I don't know the personalities enough to comment. Maybe Kermit. He seems kind of tightly wound, and I'm pretty tightly wound.
I could
go with
see you
that.
as a Kermit, honestly.
He is. Yeah. Kermit is not always like hey there, let me, you know what I mean? He's not always like playing a banjo and being a sweetie. Like he'll go off
Great
sometimes.
impression, by the way.
pretty
Let's not
good.
gloss over that Kermit impression.
I
all
regret
right?
you didn't commit to
honestly,
it.
I refuse to do it because it's such a basic impression where like, yeah, everybody's got a Kermit and they think like they're the coolest guy at the party for doing their Kermit, you know?
What parties are you at?
How
A
often
lot of
does this
Kermit
happen?
parties, a lot of the filthy,
Kermit,
smoky
okay.
Kermit parties.
Always going to those Muppet parties. Yeah.
You know how it was in the 80s?
Everybody passing the green. Yeah.
So do y'all, you know, Rolf? Rolf is my favorite Muppet. He's the one who plays the piano, and he's super chill. Nothing ever gets to Rolf, but like that's not me. It's who I like aspire to be.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right?
He's like
Yeah.
truly the only normal, like just grounded sort of character.
It's just kind of a
Yeah.
dude.
Normal
Yeah.
things, you know?
My what I think I actually am is like, you know how like there's like 8 different pigs besides Miss Piggy? You know what I mean? Like Miss Piggy's like always got like some weird, disgusting pigs just like behind her.
Yeah.
I think
her
I'm one of
posse,
those.
Her entourage. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I think you're selling yourself short. I think you would be a great piano playing bear.
Well, he's a dog.
Is he?
But
I guess he's
I could do
Rolf.
the-
Yeah, I guess his name is like a
he's
bear.
got long
kinda.
ears.
Okay,
Jenna
yeah,
was
that's a good call.
designing a new Muppet for you.
Yeah, the boss man.
original.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I would love to be a piano playing bear. Who wins? What was the best question that was asked this week?
Yeah, give us a little bit of a recap, or some of the couple of.
Okay, so recapping, we started with the blocking discussion.
Right,
Do you like does it annoy you to block in video games? We talked about it, you know, whether you enjoy a bad show or a bad movie, or is it harder to enjoy a bad game, right?
Yeah,
We talked about whether or not we drink milk.
Yep.
Favorite
I don't
TV show opener we covered, you know?
By the way, shout out to Leo Vader's YouTube channel, which has a great video about TV show openers that's really funny, if you can imagine, from Leo Vader. But I kind of like the milk one, honestly.
I had milk written down on this notepad. I only have 3 things written, and milk was 33% of the things written on here.
I was gonna say blocking because I like to be seen publicly agreeing with Kyle Hilliard, but if you guys feel good about milk, I'm okay with that.
I'm open to the blocking one. I do feel like milk is kind of tapping the same well of energy as like the towel conversation. It's like,
And we don't want
know
that
why
every
they-
week, right?
they seem the same to me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Blocking then. Let's do
let's do the
blocking.
blocking.
Let's do blocking.
All right.
Yeah.
I agree with Kyle.
Thank you to I agree with I officially on record I agree with Kyle Hilliard. Joe McMartin, thank you for sending us that question. It's now time for
It never comes through.
Yeah, it was so
Really?
loud.
Like
It
that got noise
immediately-
muted still?
Absolutely.
Okay.
muted,
And now it
yeah.
is time for get a load of this.
Good. That was good. That one went through. Yeah.
For some reason, the second time always works.
Yeah.
You should do
tried
that time
to-
first.
Okay, well, I don't have any control over my chords sometimes, you know? It's just kind of can't control the limitations of my own
slapping
voice.
around.
Get a load of this is the segment in which all of these panelists share something that they enjoyed throughout the week and would be interested in you checking out. Who's got a nice get a load of this?
I can start. Mine isn't
Sure.
a link, but that's okay because I'm the one who has to make the listings for this, and I don't know what I'm going to put down for this. But my get a load of this is that I was looking at I was talking to a friend of mine about New York Times and some coverage of stuff that they've been doing this week. And my friend was like, oh yeah, I got a free subscription to that through my library. And I was like, what? And so I went to my public library that I've signed up to, and under their resources tab, it was like, yeah, here's a code for a free subscription to the New York Times. And I was like, what? That's wild. I love subscribing and free things and news and having access to news. So my get a load of this is check out first of all, if you don't have a public library card, get a public library card. That's number 1. Very important, very easy to do. And the number 2 is to check out the resources that you get for free through your public library, because there might be something really cool, like a New York Times news access subscription.
Does it work online as well?
Yeah. I think it
So you
only
can see
works
as many
online.
articles as you want.
Yeah, basically, yeah, it's just a regular subscription. So yeah, if you have the app, you can use it on the app. You don't get like a newspaper delivered to your house because those things don't exist anymore, basically. But yeah, you can see all the breaking news.
They have other publications, I wonder?
I think it varies, I'm certain, very widely between public library offerings, which is why you should check out your local public library for the resources they have. But I was surprised because she and I do not live next to each other. Like, we're not in the same public library system even. So I was surprised that both of us, there was just like, yeah, here's a code to access the New York Times. Like, okay.
Very sweet.
Yeah.
Let me do an update. So my Get a Load of This is going to be an update from the comments on Patreon to my Get a Load of This from last week. So Sean Mills writes in and said, Kyle mentioning that he'd been watching Claim to Fame on last week's episode. My wife loves terrible reality TV. She asked me to write in and recommend an even worse show from this summer called Stars on Mars. In it, celebrities have to live in Australia, but pretend they are on Mars. Pretend they are on a Mars base where they have to complete various missions. Celebrities are eliminated seemingly at random, and on some episodes, new celebrities are added for no reason. There is no announced prize for the winners, and the show is hosted by 92-year-old William Shatner.
Whoa.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I saw Lance Armstrong on it, and I was like, I'm not watching this. But now I'm more maybe into it, knowing that he could just go at any moment.
They're getting, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Mince. Oh, I'm so sorry. Mick Lovin. You know what I mean? He was the first guy in.
Wow. First man on Mars.
Mince
I think
Plots.
I saw a clip of that, actually.
I feel so bad. That poor guy. He's Mick Lovin for the rest of his life. He's got a name. He's an actor, but
yeah, because
Lovin.
There was
but not bad enough to not call him McLovin, though. Just to clarify.
Well, that was the thing. I saw the sort of the talking head interview with one of the other celebrities. They're like, "Yeah, I'm not going to call him McLovin. I mean, that's rude. I'm not gonna do that. You know, I'm not going to be that guy." And then like the next person that walked in the room was like, "Hey, McLovin." Like I saw that clip get shared around on TikTok.
Dang. More loads.
Yeah, I got a
What
quick
else we
one.
got? Sure.
Get a load of this. There's this Apple Arcade game that came out recently called Hello Kitty Island Adventure, which seems to be well liked. My family's been playing it; like they really like it a lot. But the thing that I saw sort of bubbling up later was the South Park episode.
Yeah.
I think it's called Make Love Not Warcraft, which was like aired in like 2006 or something. Has a joke where the character Butters. They're like, "Hey, Butters, why don't you play World of Warcraft?" And he's like, "I can't. I'm too busy playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure."
Whoa.
So like he totally called out the name of this fake game as a joke and like years ago. And now it's like a real game on Apple Arcade, which is so funny. And I reached out to them to find out if that was a coincidence or whatever. They directed me to Sanrio directly.
Great.
So I have an
that's
email
gonna be
out
tough.
to Sanrio to see if I can get that question answered. My expectations are low. I don't think they're responding to inquiries.
I was there for the press preview of the game, and that question did get asked. And
Okay.
Yes. And there's an article up right now. I want to say on Polygon, but that might not be
I know
correct.
Kotaku had one too, but I just haven't heard directly from the developers or Sanrio.
Well, that was, I think that's where people picked it up, where they claim that there is no association, that it was just the perfect name for the game because you're on an island and like it's them having an adventure. But like, okay, you know, I was like, okay, like that's what I have to write. But
You don't believe it's a coincidence?
no, not at all. Not at all. There's no part of my
Sanrio-
mind believes that's a coincidence. That they
Apparently
didn't.
Sanrio
That
had
they
a
weren't at least
blog-
aware. That they weren't at least
They-
aware.
yeah,
that
okay,
that
that's fair,
was
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
They had a blog post like a year or two after the show aired where they had a joke about it. Like
Yeah, it
just,
was
like,
an April
on-
Fool's joke. Yep.
Yeah, so like they're aware of it, but it's not a bad name. Like it's a good name for that game.
Yeah.
It's memorable. It's it is what it exactly describes what the game is. But
Yeah.
it's very
And
strange.
I feel like it's helped. I feel like it helps the marketing too, because that joke has gone viral on TikTok not too long ago. So the game got announced a little bit after that, like TikTok virality. So I feel like it's served them pretty well.
They know what they're doing over there at
Yeah.
Sanrio.
They're sharks.
Also, get a load of this. I learned that the character's name is Cinema Roll.
I learned that too, and I felt so fake. Not that I'm like a hardcore Hello Kitty fan anyway, but I liked that little, like Animal Crossing, the crossover with Sanrio and everything. And I was like, oh yeah, like that. I like that one, Cinnamon Roll. And then the person giving the preview was like, oh, my favorite, Cinema Roll. And I was like, who's Cinema Roll? And I was like, you've been Cinema Roll the whole time? Like I felt like that.
Yeah.
that scene in Simpsons where Homer goes, her name's Krabappel. I've been calling her Crandall. Oh my God, I've been an idiot. Anyway, for Wash
glad we're
millennials
on the
that are
same
listening,
page there.
you'll know that.
Yeah.
You'll know the reference.
Help me out there. Is it the spelling that's causing this confusion?
The character's name is it's cinema roll, right? Like a play on the cinnamon roll, but they just drop the N at the end, so it's cinema roll.
Sure.
What are you confused about, Kyle Bosman?
So you've been inserting the N in your mind the whole time.
It's like a Berenstain Bears kind of situation.
Cinema roll.
Yeah.
Got it.
And this is, if you're watching the video version, this is what cinema roll looks like.
What a little sweetie.
And they have like cinnamon roll. Obviously, it's a play on the word cinnamon roll, but it's not like.
It's not just.
So I just thought this was cinnamon roll. Exactly. Like I thought this was just cinnamon roll.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who do I have here? You know what I mean? I just turned my whole world roll upside down.
Speaking with my family, I'm like, wait, so the character's like a cinephile? And they're like, no, get out of here with that. It's
because there are rolls of film. I could see cinema roll like kind of makes sense as its own pun. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry to hijack your get a load of this, Jenna. I'm sorry. I just
this was honestly like I've been dying to have this conversation. So like, thank you for giving me a platform because I was like, man, I guess I didn't know what I was talking about. Let me exit this preview because obviously I shouldn't be getting this information. Mine is get a load of this. I was on here's the thing too. Okay, we all know what happened, right? It's called X now. Elon's like, how do I run this further into the ground? Let me call it X. A tweet is now a post. How long until we have to call it that? Because let's be honest, like we all have those moments where like a stadium changes names and you're like, I'm still going to call it this. People are still calling, yes, the same. But at a certain point, it is time to move on. And people do. Where are we for that? Should I be calling this Twitter? Like, what should I be doing here? What's the etiquette?
Never
still
changing.
go to twitter.com.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, that's fair. That is accurate. And it's just
but I think
that's
a good question.
It's an act of protest almost to call it Twitter. I like it.
I don't think X is
as of today. I know. I don't think it's gonna matter. At the time of this recording, I go to twitter.com, even though X is the logo, and I saw a tweet that said, "Fun date idea: cooking a meal together on the limited edition promotional Red Dead Redemption 2 gas stove," and it's a Red Dead Redemption 2 decked out gas stove. Now, I don't think this was like an actual promotional item. I think someone just did this to their stove, but that's my get a load of this. It's like, look at this odd, crass contraption. And it's just like such a commitment. It's such an interesting, like very box art smattering of a piece to live with. And yeah, there's something about it. Yes.
I look forward to seeing this image when
it's in someone's house. So I don't know. I saw it. It's like, it's one of those things where you see it and I'm like, I immediately am retweeting or reposting this because I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I agree. What am I agreeing with? I don't know, but I agree wholeheartedly.
I never have that impulse. I mean, that's what get a load of this is, right? You're like, hey, my audience, my followers, get a load of this.
Yeah.
You're like, you are actively endorsing, like, I think this thing is neat. And like, you're really putting yourself out there.
I sent this gas stove to 26.3 thousand people because I'm like, y'all need, this is the content you signed up for when you joined this page. And they're like, how do I get out of here?
I got a community, get a load of this. This is funny. The Discord name is just v ... But
it's because you're
this is such a fun headline.
Mode, as would be my guess.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, v ... Anyway, the headline is from entertainmentweekly.com. Holes star wins Mortal Kombat tournament in goofy movie costume. So one of the kids from the Nickelodeon film Holes has grown up into a highly competent Mortal Kombat player, and he is wearing a really cool pointy shoulder-bladed Powerline cosplay, and then won the tournament. Cleo Thomas is his name. What a fun thing to share. What a fun headline. To me, that's just like somebody who I feel like understands this universe better than most of us do. You know what I mean? To like come from Holes to like understand that like, yes, the thing I should wear to my Mortal Kombat tournament is the Powerline costume. And then to be the best person there, I think shows an awareness of the universe that I have not quite grasped myself yet.
Is this Sonic Fox's influence on the competitive fighting game scene? Because if so,
probably.
I'm here for
Interesting.
it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, we don't have to take this so serious. Maybe, yeah.
Love it.
And because really, yeah, just brand yourself. Yeah, get your name out there. You got these headlines on EW.com. That's huge. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, if we just listen to each other's heart.
I was thinking of
that
something
a song?
similar.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
Song, right?
yeah, well, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's part of the song.
Maybe
We'll find one never too far
love's
apart.
the reason why. First time ever, I'm seeing it. Yeah. Oh my God.
We're gonna get taken offline, you guys. Be careful.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's too.
Oh, the DMCA, that was too close.
It's too close.
Yeah,
It's
that
almost
was really good
imperceptible. Is the thing.
singing. How about some plugs and promotions for what's going on with everybody this week?
Well, we've got spoiler cast for Barbie, which we're recording Thursday, so it'll probably be up Friday if I had to guess the timeline on that. So keep an eye out for that. That's MinnMax stuff. But I also wanted to say Jenna Stoeber, am going to be a special guest at PAX West this year. So I'll be, I'm very excited. I'm excited to not be working it in the same sense that I've worked former PAX West. I'm excited to be a special legit guest. So I'll be hosting 2 panels and I'll also be on the Jackbox panel. We're still pinning down the times for all of those, but come out to those panels. They're going to be a lot of fun. They're going to be highly interactive. And if you see me walking around the show floor, feel free to say hi as long as it's not in the bathroom. Anywhere on the show floor, anywhere in the public access areas, if you see me, feel free to say hi. I love to talk to people, and I'm probably going to ask you what games I should play on the floor. So I'll see you there. I'll see you at PAX West.
What are the 2 panels?
I don't know. They have not updated the website with the information, so I don't know if I should say. But I think this is promo, whatever, it's fine.
Okay.
One is a debate club. These might have different titles when they're actually in it, but one is a debate club where I'm going to make the panelists debate specific, I would say controversial video game opinions, but not in a scary way, in a fun way. And the other one is the PAX panel show, which is just going to have lots of little panel style mini games. And I'm hosting both of those. So it will be me hosting games of my own creation that are all going to be video game themed. Yeah. And there will be
Very fun.
It should be, if I can get it all to work, interactive audience elements. So you'll be able to like vote on your phone and stuff like that. So that should be fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you have dates for that?
It's PAX West is the first week of September, and if I'm remembering correctly, I think the panels are going to be one Friday, one Saturday, and then I think Jackbox on Sunday. So,
Cool.
Yeah, get hype. Anybody else? Anything going on in your lives you want to share?
I guess I'll just take this time to also shout out that I'll be at PAX West on behalf of MinnMax. We'll be doing a travelogue focusing on Nintendo Live specifically, which is an event that is happening near and at the same time as PAX West, but are technically 2 separate events. Like they have a raffling ticketed system if you're interested in going to that, but I'll be vlogging that, hopefully stopping by Jenna's panels as well and, seeing Kelsey and just trying to get as much content and stuff as I can. So say hello. I love the not in the bathroom. I never thought of pointing that out, but yeah, that's a great place to not say hello to me.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. Don't say if you see me in the gym or the bathroom, do not talk to me. Those are my rules.
I almost prefer bathroom because there's such a natural stopping point to that conversation.
Yeah. So
You know what I mean? Like you watch your hand. Okay, see you around, man.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I just, my stance is that nobody is famous in the bathroom. We're all just people, and we should all just act like people.
You think people don't talk in the bathroom?
I think they do, but
I'm not chopping it up in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to people in the bathroom. No.
That's where I have most of my conversations.
Oh boy.
Here's a question: when you go into the bathroom with somebody, it's like, oh, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Oh yeah, I'll go too.
Oh my God, it's so awkward. Yeah.
Do you talk before on if you're waiting for the other person? Because I usually don't talk about it before, and then I never quite know what to do. I'll I'm like, what if they're waiting? What if they think I'm waiting on them and they're waiting on me and they're still inside? Like, do I,
Yeah.
Usually I do. I'll meet you at this pole or whatever kind of thing. But sometimes I forget to do that, and then it's like, what's the etiquette here? Are we waiting on do I meet you by the hand dryer? Like, what's going on?
Imagine standing next to your friend. Like,
I
while,
can't. I would never. I would just go to the stall if I lived.
yeah,
there.
that's a good strategy.
Yeah,
Sure.
smart.
Why y'all aren't all posted in the stall is beyond me. I could never.
Life's a great question.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jenna, you had one more thing about bathroom etiquette.
I don't know that I did.
Yeah, you were saying something that I stepped over for sure.
It wasn't important.
Okay.
Wash your hands.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Hey, we all agree on this. Wash your hands thoroughly,
Yeah.
especially at a convention.
Yeah.
Listeners, viewers, thank you so much for another week of the MinnMax show. It's been a pleasure. Everyone, be good, have fun. Let's go.